It's a New Year's Day.
When Triple H was returning from his quad injury,
No.
played that a lot.
WrestleMania episode's done.
That's not WrestleMania.
We're not talking about wrestling anymore.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hair of the Dogcast, your favorite podcast about beer and video games and beer and Mountain Dew game fuel. Thank you, Stoy.
Hell yeah.
Stoy.
I'm here to bring credibility back to
Thank
the
you.
Dogcast.
This is actually super refreshing.
I am going to level up my Spartan later, I tell you what.
Well, I kind of spoiled who's here for us because I said
Oh,
Stoy.
sorry.
So, hi, Stoy. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. Who else we got?
You've got me, Dylan. I'm here again. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Big thanks to Dylan for coming.
Yes. You know, I had a lot of board meetings and taxes.
It's hard to be bored with a Steam Deck.
That's true. I did bring the toy to play with.
And
I'm Brad.
Yeah, hi, Brad.
Okay.
Hi, Brad.
We are Hair of the Dogcast, proud member of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network.
Yeah, we are.
So go check out the other shows on there, but not before you listen to this episode. Do that first.
And then
go check out the
And
other
then the previous 138 Dogcasts, the previous 92 Raw Dogs.
Yes.
The
See, how
30 Elden Dogs, the 20 Popcorn Dogs, 50 Doggies After Dark.
50.
Which you'll have to
Wow.
be a Patreon to get, so you're going to want to do that.
Patreon.com/Hear the Dogcast.
Yeah, at some point. You got work to do is what we're saying.
Give us
But
And
money,
then
num,
check
num,
out all
num.
the other ones for sure after that.
and then yeah.
I haven't had a Game Fuel in a while.
It's about exactly as you remember how it tasted.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I actually think that it's fantastic.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
Made.
I could not do more than one of these
No.
a day.
No.
It features Cortana.
Yep.
Wow. She's such a relevant character.
Well, of course, she went.
Master Chief is there too.
She
though.
went crazy in Halo 4, if you remember correctly. And then in Halo 5, they just we're not going to talk about that again.
Yeah.
The worst plot.
Yeah, that hurt my soul.
Halo 4 or Halo 5?
Oh, both.
Halo 5's gameplay, though, is good.
I've heard.
Yeah, it is.
Just the grappling hooks.
Yeah.
And that grappling hook is good enough
that's
for me.
that's
You're
Infinite.
talking Infinite.
Oh, shit.
yeah.
No, Halo 5 sucks.
Guardians. I'm like,
Halo
what do you-
5 got those
I was
bad...
kinda like-
Oh, I was going to say Guardians the gameplay wasn't bad.
The boss battles were horseshit.
The boss battles were like, yeah.
What was wrong with
Do you
them?
remember?
There's only one that they did 5 times.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was basically just like fight a giant ship over and over again.
Oh, God.
We love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you remember 50 Cent Blood in the Sand? Where you had a helicopter as a boss
We'll
on
never
every
forget
level?
that. It's actually our new podcast series, 50 Cent and
I
the
am-
Sand Dogs.
And then Tony
50 Sand
Yayo
Dogs.
says something.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Fitty, get down.
Break these boxes, 50. There might be some materials you could use.
Did we leave Marshall? Where's he at?
Thanks, Ayo, or whatever his name is.
Tony Yayo.
Tony Yayo.
Tony Yayo.
I
call him
think
Tony
I
Yayo.
believe
DJ
Yayo
Who Kid.
is slang
For
for cocaine.
Yeah, and that's why you're Ayo for Yayo.
No, it's Lego my ego.
Okay.
Tyler, you're so
Wow, I'm really
knowledgeable.
learning what the kids are saying these days.
I feel old.
Tyler's just talking about Stranger Things again.
All right, who's ready for the news?
I definitely am.
I definitely am.
Is that the sound that they did for old time news thing?
Yep.
Maybe on the radio, or
Maybe you should do it like this. Activision sucks. That's your news.
Is that better?
okay,
Oh,
that
we're
works.
yeah.
R.I.P. Bobby Kotick.
Oh, he's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So just starting out with more Grand Theft Auto stuff because it's always
That's
in the
all we're
news
going to
now.
talk about
I'm
for
gonna
the
be.
next 10 years.
First of all, I gotta say this. I'm gonna be so tired of this game before it even comes out.
Yeah.
And then you're going to play it, and you're going to be like, this is a really good game. And then you're not going to play it for the next 10 years people are
Yeah.
playing it.
Exactly.
It's going to be a great game that I will play maybe twice.
But
Yes.
that's just the thing. We're not talking about 6. We're talking about 5.
Ooh, are you talking about the leaked information?
The source code for Grand Theft Auto 5, along with a vast array of other confidential materials from Rockstar, has been leaked online. The incident comes after initial reports last year hinted at a partial leak of GTA 5's source code. Now, somebody who's more knowledgeable than me, what is source code? I think I have a good grasp on what it is. It's like the DNA of a game, right?
I'm
the
going to
base-
defer to one of the smarter two people
Yes.
over here.
It's like the base.
Did you look at me?
You
We
and
did.
Dylan.
Oh, okay.
So it's the base programming. It's like
Basically,
it's
yeah.
the ones and zeros that make up the structure of everything around it. That's all you have to think about it as. There's a lot more shit going on to it, but if that is the best way of explaining it, in my opinion.
Yeah, in my limited time with C# and coding back in the day, that's basically what it is. It's all the text,
Yep.
basically. You know,
The stuff that builds the
mechanics.
essential things.
Yep.
Yep. And that's basically what the DNA is. That's how the characters move. That's how the world interacts with objects. And yeah.
So if the source code was leaked, it would give them access to like they could see individual models. They would be able
It's
to.
essentially looking under the hood, where
Yeah.
you can know a car is fast and performs well, but if you can actually see how it does those things, it reveals secrets about how they make the game too.
Code
a
is
lot
how-
of
how you- yeah,
proprietary
exactly.
Rockstar information is hidden in there, and that is damaging.
Have you ever wondered have you ever wondered how like a really beautiful game is running on the Switch and like Tears of the Kingdom? It's all source code.
But would this not be even worse for Grand Theft Auto Online since that's still running?
What about it?
Like if you had the source code for an online game, you could really.
so this could help any developer literally make an entire Grand Theft Auto clone.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
with this being leaked. Because it could be, it's damaging. Obviously, it's personal property of Rockstar Games, but this also gives any developer out there to quote unquote buy the source code and then make their own clone and call it Grandma Theft Auto.
I would play
Whatever.
that.
I would play.
You play as a grandma who steals cars.
I really
That was
wanna
Watch
play-
Dogs Legion, bro.
Oh,
You could do that in Watch Dogs Legion.
Yes.
I never
Remember that
touched-
game? Ugh.
I've never touched that trash.
You're
Is that
lucky.
the one with the guy with like the pig head on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't play that one.
That says a lot when that entire game, that's all we can like put together. True. That's the one with the pig, right?
Well, that's all it was. Where it was like, look, you could play as a grandma and roundhouse kick random people in the street. That was their shtick the whole
It
game.
didn't work for Captain Marvel.
Well, I'll tell you, like everything about that game just reeked because it's like we're anti-capitalist, but this product's really good. You should buy it. And
check
I'm
out
like,
check out
whoa.
these transactions we got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that sucks for Rockstar. But like Brad said a little bit just a second ago, it also they found files in the source code that were pointing towards a Bully 2 game, like 8 DLCs for
Someone
Grand
hid
Theft Auto 5.
someone hid their nudes in the code for some reason.
That's if you're going to hide your nudes, it's either Tax Forms 2018 Do Not Open folder or the source code of one of the most best-selling video games of all time.
I have something I want to bring up, like a moral question.
Sure.
Before we get into what I'm sure we'll talk about, the Insomniac leaks. Leaks are bad.
Sure.
Hackers are bad.
Ruins people's work a little bit.
And then I'm thinking about it. So we have a list of upcoming games potentially coming out from Insomniac. We've seen gameplay that wasn't supposed to be released. And a number of people we refuse to report on this or talk about this. And then there's the journalistic side where I've seen something. I can't pretend I haven't seen it.
Right.
And what do you all personally feel like? Is it okay to talk about it? Do you feel weird talking about it?
No, I don't. I think that it really breaks down to just cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
If we are not like a reputable news source, sorry, Tyler.
Sorry to break it to our listeners too.
I find no quandary in it, and us explicitly stating that this stuff is bad. I'm not going to get hype about any of this stuff. I'm not going to make a bunch of judgment calls because this shit ain't done.
I feel like when I see gameplay footage of Wolverine, I'm like, this is super irrelevant.
Yeah.
It's possibly showing what it might look like, but until they're ready to show it, like seeing the Grand Theft Auto 6 gameplay, 6 leaks, I'm like,
Last year, yeah.
I'm like, this
Means nothing.
it means
Yeah.
nothing to me.
No.
What really means something though is like seeing the list of projects they're working on. I find that illuminating, but I was just having that quandary in my head. I'm like, some people are saying they don't want to talk about it, and I feel like you're failing journalistically, not addressing it.
Well, there was one, I forget which website it was. I think it was, it wasn't Kotaku. Sure as hell wasn't that. But
Kotaku.
I was gonna correct him. I'm glad you did.
Okay, I'm sorry. Kotaku. It wasn't Kotaku.
Thanks, Tom.
But there was a website where it talked about the Insomniac leaks, and there was like a spoiler tag in it to say if you don't want to read about what the leaks leaked,
Yeah.
you can skip through the whole thing and just read the bullet point. Insomniac was hacked. lot of data was released to the public, and that's the end of the story. Instead of like talking about what exactly was leaked, which was like Wolverine gameplay and Ratchet and Clank and all this other projects that they were working on. Like you could,
2029 Ratchet and Clank.
yeah,
That was one of the reveals.
It makes sense.
PlayStation
Though.
6.
You got to plan that far in advance these days.
I know.
Well, yeah.
I mean, a lot of it's just probably concept art and super preliminary.
A Venom style pseudo sequel.
Didn't
Lethal Defender.
Insomniac got leaked? Or
Yeah,
got hacked.
Might as well just roll into that one too.
Yeah.
The Insomniac leak, like we said, showcased a Wolverine trailer, which I did watch, and I felt bad watching it. Oh no!
Oh no, Brad.
We got
is-
to.
that is
Before
super
we get
not
into this
sexy.
leak, let's talk about the beer that I just spilled. Luckily, it was mine. This is from Templin Family Brewing. It's called Where's Berry. It's a tropical fruited sour IPA from Salt Lake City. I'm going to get a rag. Back to you, Tyler.
I shared some of mine.
All right, a hacker
So
group.
nice of you.
Also, it always sounds weird to say a hacker group. I feel like I'm talking like, "Hello, fellow kids."
Yeah.
But hackers did breach Sony's Insomniac Games on December 12th, demanding $2 million for terabytes of data it stole.
Interesting, yeah. 2 million. What made them choose that number?
It's like
Sounds a little Dr.
yeah,
Evil.
Dr. Evil-ish. Yeah.
They have since published almost all of it. They said 98% of the data they stole they've published. So they're still threatening that they're holding back the juicy bits. But after we saw what they put out, there seems to be a lot of juicy bits.
These guys could go to prison for a long time, and they can
Yeah.
be found.
Well, that's what they did to that Grand Theft Auto 6 kid. But
we're
he
going to
was-
talk about that.
Okay,
So
all right.
we're gonna
talk about
I'm
that.
going to hold off.
Okay, we will,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
According to
Knocking over all these
I
microphones.
had Bloody Marys before, guys. I'm sorry.
Brad is a tornado right now.
Get out of here, you lush.
Did either of you guys watch the leaked Wolverine footage?
I did,
No.
yes.
Wolverine is arguably my favorite superhero of all time. So I was very excited that when they announced a game, I was reluctant to watch the trailer. But then once I got like an Instagram reel popped up of it, I'd already seen it. So I might as well watch it. But like you were saying earlier, I do feel bad. Like I feel dirty watching a leak. I didn't feel proud of myself.
I won't take the gameplay to heart. I will take to heart characters that were in the leak. Mm-hmm. Story bits. I can't wash my eyes and pretend I didn't see things.
No.
Yeah.
So
And
honestly, I was but I could say that I found the gameplay underwhelming, but it's fucking not done. So it'd be pointless to even talk about.
yeah.
And that could sway your opinion of said game. So, like, if you see very early footage, you're a Wolverine fan, you see this early footage of a game that's not going to come out for 3 years, that could be like, well, this game looks like ass.
Well,
and then,
Conversely, I will say, remember when Tom Cruise had the Mummy footage leaked?
yeah.
And there was no finished audio, and it was just him falling in a plane, and it was just the audio of him screaming. That really made me want to see the movie. I'm like, this looks horrible, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise movies, I don't feel bad about seeing those leaks.
I think the only like thing I might feel bad about is that a lot of people worked really hard on this, and I understand that this is like an artistic endeavor, and they don't want people to see what all this is. But
What is shitty is they leaked personal information.
Yes.
Yeah.
that is the worst.
That's the biggest. That's the thing that I have.
Which makes
a
what
major problem.
they actually came out and said that Sony was their specific target, and they claimed money was the only motive. And if that is true, and you weren't just trying to play spoiler for a shit ton of games and data and information, like involving people's personal data, like fuck you, seriously.
Yeah, really.
Like that, you're a scumbag. Mm-hmm. That's just my personal view on it.
Especially
I
since
think everyone can agree with that.
Yeah, especially since those people had nothing to do with whatever Sony's decisions made. Those are made in a boardroom of like 10 people. It's like, don't go after the developers who are just constantly trying to work hard and deliver good content for these particular people
that are generally overworked and underpaid.
yeah,
Yep. And some
They're
of the
just trying to live.
yeah.
some of these hacked files, even like they have company data in them and shit, and some of it was talking about possible layoffs at Sony and wider cutbacks in the future, which, like Stoy said, that could be boardroom talk about like, maybe we're going to do this, maybe we're not, but that's not information that needs to be public. I feel like
Yeah.
these people are, like Brad said, underpaid and overworked, and now given this, they might even be fearing for their jobs more. On top of their personal data being leaked and their project they're working on now under scrutiny, even if it's in an alpha stage, which is just unfair to them on every single possible level.
Yeah.
You know what maybe is the most interesting part about this? I don't think most of the general population is going to give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think this is like
They're like,
the
ooh,
world's
yay,
biggest
new
thing.
trailer. Like,
yeah,
a lot
I
of
mean-
people react that way.
But also it's one of those things where sometimes we conflate this as like a hobby as like because we're so invested in it that we also like the news and we like everything surrounding it. Most people, 95% of anyone who's ever going to touch this video game when it comes out has not seen or heard anything about
If
it.
anything, they're like, there's a Wolverine game coming?
Yeah.
And it's like, we've been looking at one image of a man in a bar for 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, for a game like that, for me, that I'm very personally excited for, like, I don't want to see it until they're ready to show me it. Because, like we've established, what if they do pivot? What if what we see at some point, they're like, well, this isn't going to work. We should change it.
Yeah.
Let's make it a live service game.
You know what I saw in
That
the
should be
leak?
more live service. It should
Yeah.
be always
Online only.
Which, spoiler alert for the last part of our
For the topic.
I think everybody knows.
You want to know what I saw in the leak? Wolverine regains health by eating cigars.
Does he eat them? Oh,
I'm spreading false information.
Well, we might as well at this point.
ooh, this cigar will give me health.
Wolverine,
Here we go,
you have
bub.
to eat cigars to replenish your
How
health.
many cigars you got for sale, bub?
This
Yeah.
crate's full of cigars. I love cigars.
You could like pick up Swisher Sweets or like Backwoods, and it's only 5% health, but then you get a nice Cuban, and it's like 85.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So,
Wonderful.
I mean, there's a lot of leaks. That's two very big leaks. And while we're on the subject of leaks, we should talk about the Grand Theft Auto 6 hacker who
Yeah.
also leaked shit. It's a leaky ship today, guys.
This made me feel weird seeing this article.
Yes, because I don't necessarily. We'll get into it. The
Wait, also
18
this beer is weird.
Yes.
I like
What
it.
is this?
It is a tropical fruited sour IPA called Where's Berry, which I don't know if it's a reference to the show Barry. I don't know, but
Maybe Barry's a friend who keeps like
sour IPAs aren't for me.
Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
I really like this beer. Yeah,
This is like adult
I'm
juice.
meh on it.
I know. I could drink
pretty
this on
mid.
the porch.
It's
in the
all
middle of
right.
summer.
I
Yeah.
don't love it.
I love it.
I'd have another.
This beer is mid, yo.
My table hates it.
For real, for real.
Oh, no cap.
The 18-year-old hacker responsible for stealing and releasing dozens of clips of Grand Theft Auto 6 last year,
I didn't know he was 18.
yes, has been sentenced to life in hospital prison. He can only be released in the future if doctors decide he is no longer a danger to others,
Wait, so
reported by the BBC.
so it's not a prison. It's more like what does that even mean? If a doctor's like, oh, he's all right.
It's psychiatric.
He's autistic, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's autistic. So you can't just obviously jail autistic kids.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
they
well,
tried.
They tried. Yeah, I know,
me.
but like legitimately, you can't. But
Yeah, to just see that there was when they say it's a life sentence, that's different than they're going to hold him in a hospital until he's deemed fit
this
to
is-
return to society.
Well,
Sounds way different than
life never means the full extent of your life. It usually means somewhere around 20 years.
yeah.
But-
Yeah, this guy will get out eventually, as a lot of these cases do, but there is...
Maybe before Grand Theft Auto 7 comes out.
Maybe.
maybe
There used to be a thing like this. I've listened to a lot of true crime stuff.
what is
and
that?
It's crimes that actually happened.
Do they make
And then,
podcasts about this?
I think there's a couple floating around out there.
Okay.
But
People don't murder each other.
I hear that's a new thing.
Okay.
I'll
I'll have
even
to
in the
look
United
into this.
States,
I've never heard of this before.
Yeah,
some states, way back in the day, they would do this where you would be arrested and you would be sentenced until I say so. Essentially, is what the state would say. Like, we are going to hold you. We're not going to tell you how long. We're just going to keep an eye on you.
Just be good.
And I feel like that is worse than getting like a finite sentence. Like, I
Yeah.
would like to know how long I'm going to be in for.
I think what happens in cases like this is that putting this person in a psychiatric facility makes a lot more sense because you can't just introduce a guy with severe autism to Gen Pop in a prison. This is probably the only solution they had, and God bless. I think the issue is they also really figured that the only problem with his crime is that if he got let back out and he got internet access, he would just compulsively start doing it again.
Well, yeah,
because I
that's-
have a feeling that was his fixation.
Oh,
That was
100%.
his- Yeah,
But
During sentencing,
when there's actual murderers getting softer sentences,
I know.
that's what makes me feel weird.
that makes me feel gross.
There's
Yeah.
a disparity there.
Yeah.
during sentencing, it was or his name. I can't pronounce this. Aaron Kirchai.
Aaron.
There we go.
I don't know.
Aaron. No, it looks like it's point B on there. Aaron.
Aryan Cortage.
Okay,
Cortage,
yeah.
huh?
Reading is never something that I was ever able to really do all that good.
Oh well,
He was
all that well.
Like you read
I'm no good at reading.
Arian-
done good reading.
Cortage. I can say Cortage. We're going to call him Cortage. Cortage.
Already
Sorry.
messed it up.
Tyler, are you hungover?
No, not at all. I am sleep deprived.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
The court said that they had this assessment because, like you said, Dylan, he would immediately do this again. Is how they felt. If we let him out,
that's why he did
he
this
would
because
immediately.
he did it in a hotel on
With
an
a
Amazon
fire-
with a fire stick.
which I d-
No way.
Yes,
fire stick.
because he got all his
Man.
shit taken before, so he's like, "Well, I want to keep doing this. What do I have?"
and then he
Autism
posted.
is the newest supervillain power. Like that's insane.
Not only did he hack it with a fire stick, but then he posted in the company's Slack channel and was like, "Yo, I just hacked your shit." Which, if I got that message on Slack,
the balls on that.
I'm
kid.
like,
Yeah,
holy
really.
shit.
That autistic bravado, that's the only part of that fucking disease that I didn't get.
Yeah. You didn't get a super ability to like
No.
hack a mainframe with a Google Chrome.
I can just name every One Piece character on site. That's my crap.
I get socially exhausted. Yeah.
I think what they need to do with this guy is let him out of prison. They need to hire him like that Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Catch Me If You Can, spoilers. But at the end of the movie, Frank Abagnale ends up working for the FBI. You see, he was so good at it. They're like,
Or-
you should run defense.
Or we take him to a casino.
Rain Man.
Rain Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
25 matchstick.
that was
25.
That was pretty good, actually.
That was actually, I was not expecting that.
Right, yeah.
I had it within me all along.
Chad, did you have Activision Blizzard shit in your console critters?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will skip that. Kojima,
Oh God.
he's tired.
He's my favorite man.
Did you say? I just want to leave with that.
He's my favorite human.
Kind of.
Besides your wife, he's your favorite human.
I don't know. I was playing Death Stranding again, and I got to tell you, that shit rips.
It just rips.
Yeah.
He tweeted on X that he is very tired, and I found that very funny because he's super famous and people know him, and he tweets like just a normal dude sometimes, and I think that's great. But he's probably really fucking tired because he's making a new game with Jordan Peele, and it is just announced that he is going to be working with one of the best film studios out right now, A24, to
really?
develop
The
a
Death Stranding film.
Death Stranding film. Kojima said it would not be just a direct translation of the game. He actually posted a big long mega thing on X where he started by saying A24 was born into this world about 10 years ago. Their presence is singular within the industry. Yeah. There are no others. The films they are delivering to the world are high in quality and very innovative.
Generally.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
He goes on to say that they're going to create a Death Stranding movie together. There are a lot of game adaptations out there, but what we are creating is not just a direct translation of the game. The intention is that our audience will not only be fans of the games, but our film will be for anyone who loves cinema. We are creating a Death Stranding universe that has never been seen before, achievable only through the medium of film.
Strandiverse.
Yeah.
I wonder who's going to play Sam Porter Bridges.
It does,
Probably
that's
won't
what,
have
that's
Sam.
that's what they're saying. It's not going to be that.
It
Who was that one guy from The
literally
Walking Dead? You know, the
Norman Reedus.
the guy with the
Norman
guy with
Carl.
the crossbow, right? That guy.
That's
Yeah.
Norman Reedus. Yeah.
That's Norman Reedus.
Well, he's-
okay.
he's-
He
he's-
should play as Sam Porter Bridges.
No, I
Since
think
he-
they should get the guy from Boondock Saints, the dark-haired guy.
They're starting to get a little old.
You guys ever see the movie Blade 2?
You cheeky fuckers.
Yeah.
You know the guy that like
you
totally
cheeky-
turned on Blade at the end? Spoiler alert.
You cheeky fuckers.
Ryan Reynolds. No, that's 3.
No, that's Ryan
No,
Reynolds is.
that's
three.
if
Trinity.
Sam Porter Bridges is in the movie, yes, it should be Norman Reedus.
Oh, is that it?
That
Is that his name? Norman Reedus?
Yeah, it's Norman
Okay.
Reedus.
But-
All right.
I think that's
so.
the guy.
But who, actually, I mean, serious question: who played Sam Porter Bridges in the actual game?
Norman Reedus.
Norman
Norman
Reedus,
Reedus. Okay,
yes.
so maybe we should have Okay, I'm done with this joke.
Yeah. No,
I didn't know where you were going.
I'm done with the joke.
I would be as excited if there was no Norman Reedus. It might be better to not have him, just because
Have the same universe. There's so much that could be going on.
I don't want
that
the same
planet.
story. I want
No.
something else.
I don't need to see the reunification of America.
I want to start
Death
Jeff
Stranding
Keighley.
I have a feeling
that'd be
that's
good.
what's going to happen. Did you see? What was it? A24 just put out a trailer called Civil War or something like that.
Yeah.
that looks
with
kinda
with the dude from Parks and Rec,
Norman
Yeah.
He's the
Reedus.
president.
And
Norman Reedus is the president of the United States.
is it Ron? Or no, it's not. It's Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman. That
and
was
I
yeah.
think Kirsten Dunst is
Yeah.
in it. I watched the trailer. At first, I was like, "This looks great," and then by the end of the trailer, I'm like, "Meh."
Yeah. I mean, good on them trying something new. Anyway,
The movie will be probably good.
It'll
I'll
probably
wait.
be fine.
Yeah.
It,
Hope it could be great. It'll probably be fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's also where I want to keep my expectations about everything.
I don't know if I could handle just a Kojima movie with his crazy ideas. I think it's impenetrable to anyone who isn't willing to make the mental investment in him.
He exceeds in creating a gameplay feel, a game experience. So for him to operate strictly in film would be taking him out of his natural art form a little
He's
bit.
so horny for movies, though.
Yeah, I think he would be. I feel like he'd be really good at composing shots and executing his ideas, but he'll probably also serve more as the universe guy. I doubt he's not directing it, right?
No.
Yeah, so he'll probably be.
He's got 2 games. He should take your time. Kojima.
He
Especially
needs to
since
make
he's
the second
tired.
one. He needs to make Death Stranding 2 so I can play it immediately.
That's the first priority, Kojima. Thanks for listening.
and then whatever that other game that he announced, what was it? Or was it an experience? Have you been
Pete's-
reading all these Silent Hill conspiracy theories surrounding that?
No,
I mean,
But-
because when you think about it, at the Game Awards, they walk through the door, the same door from the PT demo. And then apparently, if you look at the reflections in the character's eyes in the trailer for that, apparently it translates to Town of Silent. I mean, come on.
Okay.
That sounds
I mean,
a little
come
bit
on.
like Silent Hill.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
That's a Jon Snow film.
I'm really hoping that that's not an FMV game. I don't know anything about it, but I'm hoping it's not an FMV game. I don't know if I would be too interested.
I mean, that was my problem with the whole reveal is that Kojima was given like 10, 15 minutes to talk about literally nothing about that game.
Yeah.
Like he said, it's a brand new experience. We really want to push the boundary forward. This is more than a traditional video game. It's like, that's literally telling me nothing. That's just kind of boardroom speak.
And
with,
Jeff Keighley's just licking his lips at
yeah.
him.
Oh God, I'm so
Oh,
excited.
man.
Yeah.
He's my friend, guys.
You know,
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley really reminds me of Tom sometimes.
Just excited?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, like the characteristics, they kind of look the same to me.
Tom posted a picture of him when he was 2 years old on
yeah, I saw
Facebook
that,
today,
yeah.
and it looked like it was taken in the 60s.
Well, it would have been the 70s.
Yeah.
He's wearing like bell-bottom flared jeans, and he's got a Farrah Fawcett hair. And
Just doomed for life in the 4-H club.
Dad, I want to play video games. You're going to grow cows. I did want to mention quickly that I am still using the wonderful product Magic Mind. Magic Mind is, of course, a energy supplement. I use it every morning to help me get through the day, to help prevent big energy crash. It's like you described, Dylan. It's a nice little mana potion that helps me get through the day.
What I've started doing is I get a big jug of water for when I'm on route because I'm getting over COVID still, and it's a long process, and I have to stay hydrated no matter what. I get my gallon jug, I leave a little room, and then I put Magic Mind in it, and it's really good. It gives like
Tastes
this
great.
wild hint of little like green tea, and I can just dip it right back,
See,
take it to the dome.
I'm of the opposite camp. I crack that bad boy. I shake it, I breathe, and then I shoot it like a shot.
I
And,
do. It's a morning shot.
Yeah, it's a morning shot.
Magic Mind has a lot of great stuff in it. It's got organic matcha. It's got lion's mane mushrooms, ashwagandha that supports the reduction of stress and anxiety. It keeps you calm
Most of these
when
are
shit
natural
gets
herbs.
bad. It's all natural. Bacopa manieri, turmeric. All of it is good for you, and all of it is going to help you last through the day. Keep you focused on your task at hand, such as reading video game news, playing Baldur's Gate 3. If you want to do a 20-hour session,
You're going to need it.
You sure will want it anyways.
Magic Mind is great. It's the only reason that, yes, I'm sleep deprived recording this podcast, but it's the only reason I'm not an animated corpse and I'm somewhat coherent.
I'm still not convinced.
So
of
if you
any
don't
of
want
that.
to practice necromancy and you want to be living the healthy, good life, if there's a Sprout stores nearby, get down there. You can grab a few bottles to try. After you're hooked, you can get a subscription with our special code for up to 50% off at magicmind.com/DC. Use discount code DOGCAST20. It's great. We love it, and we want you to try it because we're all big supporters of it. So check out magicmind.com/DC and use discount code DOGCAST20.
Shit happens. That is what a Russian-based development team wrote in response to a player accusing them of overhyping a game. Did you hear about this?
Yep.
No.
Oh God, this is a
Okay.
story.
I have been following this game since they released that Unreal footage that looked fucking crazy, and they were like, it's going to be an open world MMO Last of Us. And this is...
An RPG, an FPS.
I mean,
QAnon.
this ticked all those genre boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Literally every single one.
They had 30 letters
Crafting.
describing the game.
You know, lore. You know, crafting. There was going to be immense lore.
It's going to be
there was
fantasy.
gonna racing.
It's going to be fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah.
It was going to be everything. This game is called... The Day
Zack
Before.
Snyder's involved.
Oh, God. You know, they asked, would you direct a Fortnite movie? And he was like, yeah, I would. And people are reporting on that like it's news. And I'm like, no, of course Zack Snyder would make a
Would
Fortnite
you do
film.
something for $100 million? Yes,
Yeah, I would.
Yes, I would. Yeah.
I agree.
I'd
just
direct a
made
Fortnite
them-
movie.
It's almost as if you don't say no to projects right away because that's
'Cause it just shuts a
poison
door
in
that you can keep
industry.
open.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like not until the papers are signed. Whatever. I would direct a Fortnite movie too.
Are you
Like,
interested in this random franchise? Sure.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, kids like it. I don't know.
My Little Pony is great.
All right. I want to hear more about this, just because.
So-
I mean, the story is so fantastic.
What game is this?
This is the next day, the day after.
The day after.
Who cares?
The next day.
It's the day before. It was originally
What are
built...
you guys doing the next day? You mean tomorrow?
You mean the day before? The next day?
The day after tomorrow.
2 days after yesterday.
The day before,
the
originally
easiest way to
billed
say
as a zombie MMO mashup of The Last of Us meets The Division, turned out to be a buggy, incomplete extraction shooter.
This is The Legend of Zelda meets Metroid meets Super Mario Odyssey. It's going to have
Did you see any of this?
cryptocurrency. No.
I have not
I'm-
looked up a single
this
thing
game-
about
This is just a red
This
flag.
is also.
This-
I was going to say this is another red flag of mine too that I wrote
yes.
down.
Whenever someone describes their game based on other games,
Yep.
you are red flagging me.
Yep.
Yep.
When you release a very obviously scripted gameplay trailer 3 years before the game is ever supposed to come out, that's a red flag for me. That's part of the reason that I wanted to put this in here because
And you've been
it's
following
called
this?
foreshadowing. Oh yeah.
Okay.
So the game released, and in 4 days, it led to everybody on Steam getting refunded, the company folding, and essentially
heard about
it was like a rug pull of a game.
It's like fuck around and find out.
Yes. But then they went on Twitter and they were like, yo, hey, so about that game.
We fucked up.
We fucked up. We're working on refunds, like full refunds. Doesn't matter if you played for an hour or some people put a lot of hours into this game, which I find crazy.
Imagine how badly you have to fuck up something to have to refund your game. All you have to do is deliver on the bare minimum things you say. Just keep
Yep.
your mouth shut besides that. There will be a game. Look at this. That's all you got to do. And then when someone buys it, they can't demand a refund for no reason.
But I mean, everything I've seen about this is like they've literally undelivered, like below delivered. What is it?
Underdelivered.
Underdelivered on everything that they like. We're talking like way below underdelivered.
You
Like,
cannot vault objects in the world.
yeah.
If there is a knee-high fence, you have to walk around that bitch.
Well, maybe you have bad legs.
You know the things that because it claims
don't
to
like
be a
jumping.
looter game, right?
Yes.
There's no indication, like usually in like some games where it's like, hey, you can loot this shelf, you can loot this car, you can loot this whatever. Like there's no like visual indication that something is lootable until you literally walk up to it. Like we're talking like right up front of it.
I think that's great. I want to see how bad this game is. It's funny.
There is nobody in the world when
Nobody.
you're playing, and if there is somebody in the world, you get headshotted from across the map without ever any. There's no indication of where it came from, or if it was an NPC, or if it was a person. NPCs, zombies, you might run into 2 or 3 of them at a time. Their AI is terrible. They get stuck clipping through elevators and on doors. If you shoot a zombie in this game, the reaction time from you shooting to the bullet hitting the zombie is no lie, like 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's bad. So in 4 days, The game launched, got review bombed on Steam. Fnastic, I think that's how you say it, because that's not a word that you spell. It's FNTA, so I'm calling it Fnastic. It's spelled like fantastic, but all fucked up at the beginning. Announced it was closing. They nuked their website, YouTube, and Discord. Aren't
they worried about radiation?
No.
No.
They're scorched earth.
Didn't you see Oppenheimer?
The game was removed from
did not
Steam. They're working on refunds. And then people are now trying to sell unused keys for this game, even though it's removed from Steam, for like $300 for an online game that is going to have its servers shut down probably in about 14 minutes at this rate.
So you're saying that when we go to Stoy's house next time, there's going to be copies of this game hidden everywhere.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, this is a perfect...
I've already bought like half of those available Steam copies.
I still got a sealed Anthem.
I was gonna say, you still have it? Good.
And I still have my Waluigi poster.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I have 2 copies of Anthem, and I only found
I think
one
I forced
at your
one
house.
on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise Brad just slipped it to me before I got out of
Here,
the
throw
car.
this away for me.
And then before we get into console critters, just had to say R.I.P. James McCaffrey died. He was the voice actor for Max Payne and Alan Wake, and he was an actor.
Was he the voice of Alan Wake, or he was in Alan Wake?
He was the voice
He was
of
the
Max
voice
Payne.
of Max Payne, yes.
But he was in Alan Wake.
He was in
Yes.
Alan Wake, yeah.
Okay.
I remember him from the show Rescue Me.
Yes, that's what I was just going to bring up, which
Okay,
is a
sorry.
fantastic show.
Oh, I love that show.
That's where I
kind
know
of.
him
Yeah.
from.
It depends on how patient you are with Dennis. What's his name?
Dennis Leary.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary. It depends on how patient you are with.
I was going to say the first 3-4
Marissa
episodes.
Tomei in that show, though. Whoa,
Yes.
whoa.
You're pro Marissa Tomei?
I love Marissa Tomei.
Who's not pro Marissa Tomei?
I was going to say, bro.
I was just trying to see how excited Dylan was.
horny? You mean? Not that horny. I just really like her.
She doesn't age.
She looks nice.
More like Aunt Hay.
Whoa, hey, oh.
Because actually, Marissa Tomei was his wife.
No shit.
Because remember that he
In the
played,
show or in
he played
real
as
life?
Dennis Leary's dead brother,
Yes.
I've seen
and
Amazing
that was the whole
Spider-Man.
thing. Because
Wait, that's not Marissa Tomei in Rescue Me.
yeah,
is
isn't,
Marissa
wasn't, it's
Tomei.
not it's not Dennis Leary's wife. It was the James McCaffrey's character's wife, right? Wasn't it? Because that's how Dennis Leary was like a piece of shit, because he was like
believe
messing
that
around
was
with
the- yeah.
his widow's,
But he passed away.
but he passed away. So it's
No, it's Callie Thorne.
Oh, it's Callie Thorne.
Callie
Yeah.
Thorne was the wife.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I was
wasn't-
all of a sudden I was like, wait, who was Miss? I would have noticed
look-
Marissa Tomei.
They look
Yeah.
relatively similar.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, you could easily make that.
I totally
Especially-
believed it.
I can
I was
see
like,
that,
that was
yeah.
Mr. Cool. Anyway,
There was one other news
Oh,
that I
yes.
found that I thought deserved mentioning. It's one of those game companies that you never actually hear about, but they're also the biggest game company in the world.
Tencent.
10 cent.
Tencent.
Okay, yes. I got to make sure I read words right, especially when I didn't write them.
The worse you do, the funnier it is for us, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter either way. You're either accurate or hilarious.
yeah.
In Beijing, China recently published laws to curb excess spending in online games, including games must set spending limits. They must ban daily login rewards. Wow, I didn't know that. That's
That's
actually
actually
really
cool.
good.
That's
They-
actually
they-
nice. Yeah.
Sweeping like legislation to prevent predatory online gaming.
Probability-based luck draws must not be offered, and players who stream their games must not receive large tips. Online game approvals must be processed by regulators within 60 days of publishing. That's actually, I like this.
But okay,
Well,
keep going to
Yeah.
This action saw Tencent's share value plummet by around 16%. Ouch.
Yikes.
Not good. With a loss of around, holy fuck, $54 billion. Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Well,
that's some hot
NetEase's-
shit right there.
Ooh. While NetEase's value
did you lose your ability to take advantage of people?
collapsed by almost 30%. Oh, dear God. Billy. Around 14%.
These are companies I've never heard of, but
Yes.
it's the third biggest gaming company in
That's a lot of I's and L's. Altogether, these three stocks saw an $80 billion drop-off in market value.
just from the ability to
just for
to take
being
advantage of people.
decent, yeah, or at least going back on taking advantage of people.
So
I love it so much.
I am a little. I'm of two minds with this one. I don't like China and their social credit policies, and I don't really like the idea. I'm a freedom-loving goddamn American. I love my ability. Hell yeah,
yeah,
and I love and I love that. I don't love that the government is imposing this, but I think that regulation is important too. on crap like this.
It's taking advantage of people that also have like maybe gambling addictions. Or
Oh yeah, I
problems.
know. But in that part that's the part where I'm like, well, we should be doing more shit like that here.
Belgium did, a couple years ago when the whole loot box controversy was coming. I think Belgium was one of the only European countries to effectively ban it. And that was the thing with the whole 90s where it was like the United States government stepped in during the whole Mortal Kombat thing where they said, fix your shit or we'll fix it for you. And you don't want the government fixing it for you.
No.
And it's the classic fuck around and find out,
But Beijing has also mentioned after seeing the response, they might be walking back these regulations.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Ride it out.
Yeah.
It's for the greater good.
No half measures.
No half measures. We are going to take a break, grab some more beers, and
More paper towels.
more paper towel.
I only brought 4 game fuels. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, it's delicious.
I can only drink one.
Okay. Same.
We will be right back.
Hi, this is Mono, the host of Tokyo Game Life, a Tokyo-based video game podcast focusing on Nintendo and gaming culture in Japan's capital. It's your slice of gaming life from Tokyo. Every episode features deep dives into gaming-related places to visit in Tokyo, interviews with fans, developers, and experts, plus detailed thoughts on both retro and new games. Tokyo Game Life, only on the Tokyo Beat Network.
Today's show is brought to you by EPOS Gaming Audio, with a comprehensive lineup of both wired and wireless headsets, gaming amplifiers, microphones, and webcams. EPOS has everything you need to experience the power of audio. Like their H6 Pro lineup, which features 2 versions, an open or closed headset. The closed headset allows you to tap into exceptionally detailed audio and seals out ambient noise, while the open version delivers natural high-fidelity audio with an incredible soundstage. Both headsets include a magnetic detachable microphone and a sleek design that has no wild RGB configurations, just good design. Listeners can save 15% by visiting www.eposaudio.com/gaming and entering code EPOSFRIEND15 at checkout. That is EPOSFRIEND15 at checkout.
Yeah, so that's the news. I hope everybody had a good break.
What? Oh, the Christmas break?
No, the break that we
Or
just
the break
had.
which
Oh,
Where you heard from some other shows on the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. I
Podcast.
forgot to get a beer.
check out these podcasts.
Hey.
Check it out. I'll get you a beer there.
Console Critters. I think I'm going to start real quick because I was going to cover a lot of the Insomnia stuff in Console Critters, but we kind of jumped the shark there.
Man.
But in other Sony PlayStation news, The Last of Us Online is dead. It's officially canceled, which makes me really fucking angry.
Is it just you, or were there other people?
There's a lot of people that are upset about this.
Okay.
Well, I feel bad because they probably worked on it for a couple years.
Well, I think
And then for them to just look at it and be like, nah.
what I think happened was they were going to put out the multiplayer the same way that like Red Dead was going to roll out theirs after their release, and then Sony was like, yeah, but live service,
Yeah.
because really all The Last of Us had to do was take exactly what they did in the first one with the updated maps and character skins and just do that again. You don't even need to do the Facebook linking social media thing where you could where I had to read that my mom died as a member of the Fireflies. That sucked.
I would never want to
Or it
have
was-
any social media linked to
Yeah,
a
it
video
would
game.
literally just bring up like your friends and stuff and throw them in the game, which we don't need that. But the online
that
was
pass.
super tight and super nice, and it was very good. And then Sony was like, "Yo, let's do that, but live service." So then they shifted gears.
Are we talking about red flags already?
Yes,
This whole episode is a red flag.
Yes.
they shifted gears, started making this live service game, and then Sony acquired Bungie, and they were like, "Yo, Bungie, you've been doing this thing for a while. Why don't you check out this game that?"
And didn't Bungie
Naughty
look
Dog-
at it and say, nah, pass?
No.
Now, I wonder if it was no, that's not good, or no, that's not good for a live service game,
Or
Because
no, it's not salvageable.
yes. So anyway, they scrapped the game, which is an absolute shame.
Well, some games shouldn't have multiplayer.
This one was very fun. I liked it a lot.
I played a little bit of it, and it was fun. It had a good concept, but I think the ship left the harbor a long time ago.
The interest in part 2 of that game came out 4 years ago now.
It came out on the PS4.
Are we talking about the remake or the remaster or the original?
The original part 2.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed.
Thank you for making it somehow more confusing than I framed it.
They claimed that it was going to be like a free update thing, and then they said it was going to be a completely new game. Correct?
Yes. So they
That
were
is such a blatant dumb lie to promise that even from the beginning.
Yep.
That is such a silly, dumb thing to do. I don't understand. Most companies wouldn't have the balls to do that.
Yeah. After you make that first announcement, you can't walk that.
You can't.
I would have
back,
never.
yeah.
I would have never paid for it, and I don't know how many people, especially people who really love The Last of Us. A lot of them are people who play these very cinematic story experiences, and that's like the video game they're playing, and then they're done with it, and it's consumed, and it's over. Yeah. I think Factions had a big following, but the drop off was pretty steep because I played it for a little while, and I think like 4 months after it was out, people were just like, nah, I guess not.
Now, if there was a crossover called Left 4 Dead Last of Us Edition, you might have me.
Well, you don't even
They
like
just
the
turned
gameplay.
Last of Us into a first-person shooter or something.
I mean, if you want to make it a multiplayer experience online, I think you have to do something other than the gameplay that they did for those games.
Yeah, and I think it would have been cool if they just would have did what they did, but better, which Naughty Dog would have definitely been able to do. But
That actually brings up an interesting point about how, why some video game developers just maybe don't outsource, because there used to be a thing back in the day, in the retro days, where publishers and developers would outsource their games because they want to keep the franchise going, but they don't want to wait years in between for the main studio to do it. So they would outsource the game to have other developers work on side projects, or here's something set in the same universe, but made by a different developer. It would have been interesting if maybe Naughty Dog outsourced it to, maybe a small development team.
yeah, or even give it to Bungie.
Yeah.
Who is now under the Sony umbrella. But Naughty Dog went on to say that the game got bigger than it was expected to be. They would have had to have put all their resources behind this game, and they would have had to have choose to be solely live service game studio like Bungie is with Destiny, or continue to make their narrative single player experiences. And they elected to keep making single player experiences, and this was just the casualty.
What they're known for and good at.
See, Sony needs to. Sony needs.
That's
to
what I
figure
was.
their
I was
shit
just
out
like,
with that.
this live service crap. I think that there are games now proving for certain that you don't fucking need to have a constant player engagement in your video game, especially if you already fucking paid for it.
Wait till my red flag segment.
Hey, there we go.
And this looks bad because they said this is going to be becoming like a free thing.
Yeah.
And then something else that's going to be happening here in PlayStation news is I'm guessing you're going to talk about God of War.
Yes, God of War Ragnarok DLC is apparently fantastic. I've not played it yet.
It's free and supposed to be fucking awesome. People are saying they can't believe this is free. They could have charged money for this, and everyone would say it was totally worth it.
Yeah.
It's like a roguelike,
just
isn't it?
fucking delivering. That's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't started playing it yet, but I have heard nothing but good things. And my one good friend,
roguelite.
Okay.
Yeah.
my one good friend who's already played it, and me and him have kind of the same taste in games, he told me I'm going to love it. So that's like the highest mark I can get.
Well, there's also story content.
Yes.
Yeah, I
is
hear
cool.
the ending kind of sets up next steps.
Which would be the
Kratos goes to Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes back to Boston.
With
Goes
drop-
to takes a water
means-
taxi.
He goes
in
to
the harbor.
Fenway and fights Ben Affleck.
He finds Norm and Cliff, and he opens a bar with them.
that would
It's like Cheers, you get it?
yeah, I do now.
You think that's bad? I had to fight my dad once.
That's fucking Massachusetts. Oh, it is Massachusetts. Fuck me.
One thing that kind of irritated me about a game that I enjoyed, which is also PlayStation news, is Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is getting a free update in early 2024, which is great. It's going to include like New Game Plus, which
Standard.
why wasn't that there?
Well, that's okay if they need extra time to make New Game Plus happen. Really, it just seems like a way to get people to come back after they've gotten tired of it.
But
Or
they're
beat it, yeah.
Yeah.
they're adding a bunch of new stuff to the Spider-Man 2 game, including fan-requested features such as the ability to change the time of the day in the city, swap tendril colors, some spoiler stuff that I won't talk about.
Thank you.
Ooh, I want to see.
You can replay specific missions, which I would have really liked in the base game because there's a couple missions that were fucking awesome, and I wanted to experience them again after I beat the game.
Okay. Co-host on my other show, Need for Speedrunning, J Hobbs was at least last time I talked to him the world record holder for the speedrun for Spider-Man 2.
Is it
he was
quicker than 26 hours?
Yeah.
Because I planned
didn't
in
beat him.
26 hours,
But
which I thought was pretty impressive.
He was mentioning how great it is that they're going to be able to choose missions to go practice certain sections of the game as a speedrunner.
And
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a game that, I mean, like I said, I platinumed it in 26 hours. But you can beat this game pretty quickly.
Can you say that more humble bragging?
It's no big deal.
You guys didn't see the body language he exuded just now.
I was smug.
That was a flex.
There was
I
a
was
smirk.
smug
Yeah, it
and
was a
pompous
flex.
about it.
Dude, it was very
Yeah.
cool. Do you use that as an opening line in a bar? Like, I don't know, just in case you didn't know,
Yeah, all the time.
26 hours.
You a Spider-Man fan?
60%
You ever
of
heard
the
of
time.
Spider-Man? Yeah, I got a platinum.
The one thing that kind of irritated me with this news is the fact that, like, I did beat this game in its entirety, and like we were saying with single player narrative experiences, I like to beat the shit out of the game and put it to bed. It's too soon for me to go back to the game. I'm happy that the updates will be there in, a year and a half, 2 years when I decide to go back and replay this thing. But yeah, that's actually some good news from Insomniac, despite the leak, which was going to be the big part of my console critters. But I'll leave it with the fact that the PlayStation 5 has now sold 50 million copies to consumers. I'm only going to say, yes.
Okay.
50 million consoles to consumers, and roughly only probably the majority of them were scalpers at one point. So that's great.
Yeah. That's big news.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's awesome.
I don't know where it ranks, but it's way below the PS2 and probably above everything else.
Yep. And
Well, is the PS2 still number one?
It's number one
number
console
one, yeah.
of all time, big time.
but they are definitely meeting the goals they set out for the PlayStation, and it's third year of its life cycle, which makes time goes way too fast. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually really interesting. You think they could make a new type of DVD player, sell some more?
Yeah, but
What's
why?
the
When
new-
you can buy a digital one and then buy the DVD drive separately.
Yeah, but Stoy.
Why not do that?
Yeah, but Stoy.
What?
What if it were like a DVD but new?
A new DVD?
What if it was like the new DVD?
Like a DVD plus?
Then they would fucking rip
I don't think it's going to happen, Dylan. I'm sorry.
new DVD.
Well,
That's my pitch.
if physical media wasn't dying, yeah.
Yeah, but picture this. You get a new game console. The other games don't have it. New DVD.
I think you got it, Dylan.
Your game's going to sell so
nailed it.
Your game console's going to sell so good.
Sony's like, here's a blank check. Write any amount you want on it. Get it started.
It's literally just a DVD player like bolted onto the side.
Comes with a copy of Hollow Man.
Well, I was going to say
The
Xbox
Kevin
360
Bacon
tried it.
extravaganza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New DVD. I'm
That's
laughing
Spartacus,
about
though. That's the Sony news.
The Spartacus experience.
Yeah, the Spartacus Premium Plus Ultra
Edition.
Edition. Yeah.
Remastered.
Yeah, so that's all I got. Who's next?
Ninfrendo, you got anything?
that. Nintendo's doing great. Big numbers. Everyone
the best.
loves them. Everyone loves Nintendo.
You ever heard of
Switch.
Mario?
You like Mario?
How about Peach?
Peach, she's the cutie.
Best
She can
princess
jump
of all
too.
time, and I
You
know
never
something
know
about
by looking at
princesses.
her.
I will say Wario does not smell as bad as everyone's been saying.
Peach looks just like my daughter.
Oh,
I would fuck her.
Nintendo news. I watched Mario. I watched the Mario movie.
Oh, really?
I loved it.
Just recently?
It's really
Yep,
good.
it was on
okay.
Netflix.
I enjoy it quite a bit. I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
was
a good
good.
movie.
It's a little too obvious.
It's a little too obvious, but
Jack
it's
Black's
fun.
fantastic.
The voice acting's great.
I think it's a very fun movie, and if you're going to make a Mario game filled with little Easter eggs,
It
that
is-
still has a comprehensible plot.
It was the safest Mario movie they could have made, though.
Yeah. I was, yeah.
That's
was
fine
fun.
sometimes.
So, random thought just popped in my head and I started laughing out loud in case you guys just noticed that. Obviously, do you remember the part in the movie where he sang the Peaches song?
Yeah.
So apparently, in my weird dark corner of YouTube that I found, Chris Redfield doing that song, but singing about Leon and about Leon impregnating his sister Claire. Find the video. I'll send it to you guys somehow.
Were you YouTube searching Leon impregnating Claire when you found this?
Leon's my guy. Yeah, I'm very openly about that.
You're very cleverly not saying no with what you just did.
No. I'm just avoiding the question, but I'm just saying Leon's my guy.
If I go on your YouTube, is it just going to be like Spider-Man having babies with Elsa from Frozen or something?
Well,
maybe. Okay, that's fine.
Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Maybe fuck you.
maybe go fuck yourself.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Anyway,
all right.
Random detachment.
Chat Xbox here. Reporting from the greatest console
Literally
of this
though,
generation.
Nintendo really didn't have it had Jack Diddley Squad.
Check out the new Mario game. You can just put that as a default for every.
I don't know. Play all the great hits that came out this year.
We made a remake from a previous game. You want it?
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, you didn't play it, but you want it.
A bunch of games got added to Game Pass in December. I don't want to talk about any of them.
Really, why?
Goat Simulator 3, Tin Hearts, World War Z Aftermath, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
World War Z is underrated. Like, it's really good.
Okay.
Rise of the Tomb Raider is good if you need to scratch that Uncharted itch.
There's better Tomb Raiders to play.
Than Far Cry 6.
The Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Rise of the Tomb Raider is probably the best one.
That's
Really?
the second one. Or no, that's the first
second one in the trilogy.
The second one? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Shadow of the Tomb Raider I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That's the third
Okay.
one.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider was...
Rise of the Planet of
anyway.
the Tomb Raider.
So Rise of the Tomb Raider. Okay, that was good. Anyway.
She just keeps rebooting.
There's only 2 new games coming to Game Pass in January that have been announced, which is surprisingly small.
It's
Turnip Boy robs a bank. And
What the fuck is that?
It's about Turnip Boy. It's about robbing a bank.
So
Okay.
it's a sequel to Turnip Boy.
Goes to college.
No, does tax evasion. That's actually real.
Turnip
Yeah,
Boy
that's
gets
real.
Turnip Boy does some bad deals. Turnip
Boy
Boy goes gambling.
Turnip Boy commits tax evasion is a really fun game.
Turnip
actually.
Boy didn't mean to kill that hooker.
Turnip Boy didn't technically tell them to march on the
It's
Capitol.
just when I black out. It's just when I black out, I forget things. Okay, I don't remember beating that hooker 5 times.
Oh, I got Tyler with my
Turnip Boy feels remorseful for his actions. Yeah, that's Game Pass. News, Baldur's Gate 3 is here, and it's gone. Save files for a large number of Xbox users seem to be just getting randomly deleted for no reason.
That's bad.
It's happened to some users multiple times.
Good
20, 30 hours into their game, the save is just fucking gone.
That's bad.
Now, Larian has commented on the issue, and they say it's not on their end, it's a firmware issue. And they say Microsoft engineers are working on it, and they're trying to get it figured out. Cool. So it's on Microsoft and not Larian. It's hard for me to say that.
Did you say
That's the problem because there's nothing you can do. It's not like you could just be like, hey, we found your save file.
Yeah.
Like, that's gone.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
unless it's on the cloud?
If that happened to me right now where I'm at in the story and how well I've played, I would walk into traffic.
I'm glad I'm still waiting on my physical copy.
Heavy traffic?
Yes.
Okay.
I would walk into light traffic, but be paying attention.
I'm invested now.
2 Xbox 360 games were having their servers closed down in March 2024.
Ooh.
Armored Core Verdict Day
Oh, okay.
and Dark Souls 2.
That's fine.
But the Xbox One version will continue to be maintained.
Well, the Xbox 360 store is shutting down in March, right? Still? Or is that July? No, that's July. It's shutting down sometime this year, 2024.
It's going to be sad when it does.
It's not going to be sad.
No one cares anymore.
It's funny because I went to a deep dive. I'm like, oh, what are some good like exclusive 360 digital only games? Nothing.
And they're all also
because
available.
they're good at like being available again.
Yeah.
So that's good.
And you already have Blood in the Sand physical, so
Yep. Dude, the price of that jumped when that became backwards compatible. That game jumped up in price.
In Starfield news, on December 20th, Bethesda celebrated 13 million players. Congratulations to Microsoft Game Pass. Yeah.
It did boost the sales of Game Pass.
With 40 hours is the average time per player, is what they said,
which I heard is all it takes to scratch the surface and get you into the game.
is when it starts getting good.
I played 70 hours, and I can tell you I had my fucking fill of that game.
22 million days
I'm at
played
the same,
altogether. 22 million days worth of time. Recent reviews have dropped it to mostly negative on Metacritic. It is now considered a mostly negative game.
I have watched
Steam.
It was on Metacritic as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
I've watched a lot of content on Starfield lately. For some reason, a lot of the people on YouTube that I watch are covering
It's
it.
like when you watch a train wreck.
Yeah,
It's entertaining in a morbid way.
I am not in a hurry to play this game at all anymore.
The more I look at it, the more it looks like a Skyrim Fallout derivation, and it's not doing new things. It seems like tired-ass gameplay. It feels like tired-ass game design. And meanwhile, Baldur's Gate 3 is out here just fucking knocking my socks off.
Yeah, if you can dream it, you can do it. That's Baldur's Gate 3's slogan.
But
You know my problem with Starfield, and this is coming from a guy who, same thing, 70 hours into it and just liked it. But the problem is that you're spending too much time traveling. You're doing the majority of that time is spent traveling from system to system.
And
you
then
go
walking.
tell them how I feel.
Yeah, I just did the
7
side
loading
mission where I
screens.
had to like develop a significant time of spent developing a spaceship.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you did the side mission.
You have to.
Where it
because
was like-
it's the only way you can jump to the last mission.
Yeah.
You have to upgrade your engines to a certain thing, and then you also have to have the perks that are associated with it.
Oh, see, I built-
super annoying.
My eyes are rolling in the back
Yeah.
of my head just hearing about it.
I painstakingly built that engine. I didn't know that I had to do this mission first.
Yeah.
I
But
make a gummy ship. Jesus.
but
mine was more of like a fighter. I
Yeah.
wanted to have like a fighter, so I didn't have the giant engines. I'm like, I didn't need a ton of space in my. That's a different story. We can have a whole.
Are you saying there's
Starfield
too much
episode.
space in the game?
but
There's
it
literally
was
too
like
much
sometimes
space.
in order to finish a mission, it could be like, yeah, go. So you could go travel to this other system and just tell them that we're done, or tell them it's been done. It's like, can you pick up the phone and call? Like, do I have to do that?
Yeah.
They don't
Can't
have just,
They can't have phones in the future.
bro. It's come on.
Stoy,
In space,
Morse code
no
something?
one can leave you unread.
if I could speak for Bethesda real quick, because they totally did not use a bunch of Chat GPT responses on Steam. I think you're just playing it wrong.
Am I playing it wrong?
I think you're just playing it wrong because it's
Okay.
actually a really immersive and creative experience. And just shut up and play the game.
Bethesda has said
What they're
It's Skyrim
essentially
in
saying.
space. You wanted this.
Bethesda has announced there's going to be 6 new ways to play in 2024.
Fuck off.
There'll be more city maps, new ways to travel,
Or
New-
a city map. There are no city maps.
and another way to travel.
Oh, great.
Okay, so
great.
they might get vehicles on planets.
New ways to customize your ships, new gameplay options to further adjust difficulty. That doesn't sound good. Official mod support with the
That's
launch
survival
of
mode,
creations,
is what that is.
Yeah.
and our first story expansion, Shattered Space.
Can they make it so where like being a smuggler and being evil is actually like a legitimate playthrough? Because I've
It is not. It is
It's-
surprisingly
in
not.
its current state,
Yeah.
it's not, and I
Yeah.
know that, and I've never even played the game.
I tried to be a space pirate, and I wanted to so badly. And I built this hulking mass of a ship. I thought I was like this badass dreadnought. It is abysmal.
I want to play like Firefly.
It's not
Yeah, I
I
viable.
want to be a smuggler.
You can't because you can't land on literally any planet because every planet scans your ship, and if you have contraband, they're either putting you in jail or taking all of it.
That coffee mug is stolen.
Literally, that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
You have contraband coffee mugs.
I came
no-
from,
there's no
a
system.
world where you could be a kid and go into a Walmart, and if you open up a bag of Pokemon cards in the back, it didn't say they were stolen when you walked out.
What
Yeah.
would be more or less interesting
That's a random, not related story.
is like if
you
they
could be
good old
you
days.
could be named Tom, and you could steal a 32X when you worked at a store, and you'd get busted.
It's true. I'm wondering, it could have been so easy, especially with the contraband stuff, going into like systems and then going, like having them scan your ship. What if there were like some sort of like little mini game you had to do to like not make that happen,
Or even like investing in a part of your ship where it's like this can
Some sort of
this is immune to
shielding?
scans. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
That'd be
I
cool.
don't know.
Yeah.
Or like even fly through some fucking rings and call it like this is the dead space in the scanning
Like
zone.
Superman 64?
Yeah.
Yes,
Let's
just like
bring
that.
that back, baby.
Let's
This
do
game
it.
is
Let's
so
go.
abysmal. We're
Fog
saying
and all.
Superman 64 would be superior. Let the record show.
I thought
You have to ride
in
through
the
the
lead
rings
up
to
to
save your
this,
friends.
it was going to be a console buyer for me because I am getting an Xbox, and I was like, well, I have to get it on Black Friday so I can play Starfield. Now, Starfield's not even the first game I would play, probably.
Listen,
No, it
listen.
wouldn't.
Starfield's not
It's not a console.
it's not
buyer.
a bad game. It's just my problem with Starfield is that everybody wants it to be Skyrim. And Skyrim, I think, ruined Bethesda for the entirety of the rest of its career.
And I think people don't realize they actually don't want Skyrim again.
Yeah, and
Skyrim again would be the worst thing they could do.
really, let Skyrim be. You guys keep releasing it over and over again, which is fine. It's great.
If they released Oblivion again for Skyrim, people would have been pissed.
Yeah.
I compare this game, it's like instead of drinking out of a cup, which you could call like any like great game, like you get a nice refreshing drink, this is kind of like drinking off of a plate. It's really difficult to do.
Spoiler
That
alert.
is
Not really
a
hard.
fantastic analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're trying to sip it, but it's getting all over your mouth, and it's kind of just like, ugh, come on.
I'm just trying to have a good story experience, but instead they're just making it difficult to enjoy.
That was a great analogy. And now I realize why it's so fucking hard for me to eat cereal, because I've been putting it on a plate. With the milk.
bowl.
Get it?
Come on,
I put it in
man.
a tortilla shell. That way it doesn't fall everywhere.
Bro, use a bowl.
It's called a bull. I just invented it, and you can tell all your friends.
So imagine this times 20.
Holy shit, you got bowls? My buddy Dylan invented those. Like
I also
an hour
invented
ago.
new DVD. Gave you one yesterday.
Just to let you know, this entire episode is on copyright. Okay, no one can walk away and make a DVD plus.
Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick is gone.
Peace.
People were in the
fuck
streets
outta here.
just kissing each other and dancing. There were parades. Nobody was sad at all. Shortly after it was announced that he had left, the departure was met with a jubilant outpouring on social media, including a story shared by one Call of Duty programmer who claims that Kotick has claimed to, once threatened to have employees killed for not listening to him.
That's reasonable behavior.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's par for the course.
This guy should be criminally
being
prosecuted.
Yeah,
He's too rich. You
It
can't
sucks.
I would
No.
do it anyway.
do it.
I mean that's a pretty. I mean you can go to fucking jail for that, just for that alone.
Yeah, you can go to jail for that.
Yeah.
It was out of context.
Was it?
He was talking
Brad-
about Call of Duty.
Brad, I'm going to kill you with kindness.
All right. No Activision. No Russian. That's all that Chat Xbox has. Yeah. It was honestly not a great month for Xbox, but what are you going to do?
I mean,
It's
PlayStation
December.
5 outsold the Xbox Series X in its life cycle 3-1.
Yeah, but Game Pass is cool. You know what? I did have a moment today where we were about to leave for brunch, and I had 10 minutes, and I realized my favorite aspect of the modern gaming generation is still quick resume.
Yes. My
Being
God.
able to take any video game, just fucking turn it on, and I'm immediately playing for 5 minutes instead of
And
10
Xbox does
minutes.
it better than the PlayStation 5 still to this day.
Big time. Xbox is the best. Switch is pretty great at it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, PlayStation, it's just like
But multiple games. You can have multiple games going. That's the huge difference. And it pops back in.
it's madness. It's
Like-
it's insane how good it works for Xbox.
It makes me feel crazy because in other games, you would imagine that when you got back into it, it would have like trouble loading up. Nope, I don't know what they're doing. It's magic. Something's happening in the background of this system that I can't even fathom.
Yeah.
Because if it's running games like this all at the same time, it must be like a half sleep mode kind of thing for their games.
Now, if only you could put auto walk on Starfield and then just put it in rest mode and come back 20 minutes later and you got to where you were
Just
going.
use a rubber band and just wrap it.
to get a really bad weapon from a depot
Now
somewhere.
we're talking.
Oh,
Now we're
yeah.
talking.
And then you get stick drift
I got-
because you tied a rubber band to your analog. And
That sounds bad.
yeah.
This number on the gun is higher than the other one.
See the stats? Yeah, that's +1. So out of 900, that's a +1.
Yep.
When was the last time you upgraded your armor in that game? Like,
Ooh,
honestly,
boy.
I feel like it's been like 20 hours. I've been using the same damn armor suit.
I'm relatively good at first-person shooters, and I didn't find myself needing to do it. I found myself wanting to because there were certain armors that I thought looked great but were shit
Yeah.
in terms of stats. So I did get pretty good at crafting.
So you don't, yeah.
But you don't need to. It's all about weapons. If you can kill people quick enough, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
And there's no another thing that bothers me is there's no system like VATS. So this is ostensibly just a RPG shooter, and it pretty much blocks off a lot of people from playing it, unfortunately. VATS, it ain't there.
I'm curious to see next week if Tom says his game of the year is Starfield.
I will be so angry with him. I'm going to shout him down and make him cry. That'll be fun.
So that's all we got for console critters.
Yeah.
We hope Tom cries.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've already talked about it slightly a little bit already, but we got a topic. We got a topic today.
Well, we got to talk about what we've been playing.
I was going to do it at the end.
After the topic?
We move it around all the time.
Oh.
Is
Let's
that
do it.
actually your?
I'm down for whatever.
I'll do anything.
Well, okay.
No.
Because Dylan's going to need about an hour to talk about what he's been playing anyways.
Well,
boy.
what better time than the present then?
Well, it's up to you.
Dylan, what have you been playing?
I got a Steam Deck from my lovely wife. Yeah. I got a Steam Deck and I love it.
Yo, what the fuck's a Steam Deck?
Dude, it's like a Switch, but it plays computer games.
So you're saying it's better than a Switch?
It's way better.
What could possibly be better than a Switch?
I mean, I don't
Okay.
know, man. It doesn't have no Mario.
Describe how much you love your Steam Deck, what it's been like having for a couple weeks.
When I got it, I was completely shocked. I did not ask for one. I expressed interest maybe 3 times. I'm like, I'm thinking I might get this. Like, I have this huge Steam library from when my decent computer was up and running, and I haven't felt the need to go back with any of that. And then this pops up. I've been having a rough-ass winter, and my wife is just like, you needed it. It's okay. And I almost cried. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And so I got it, and I booted it up, and this thing is pure magic. Maybe one of the best controllers I've ever handled, period.
I'll give you that, man. It feels good.
The
Did
layout.
you ever use the Dreamcast fishing controller?
I actually have
it's
not.
It's up there.
Clearly, none of you have touched the Saturn analog controller.
Can you make this
the
more
disc,
circular?
Xbox controller,
the Duke.
the Duke.
Anyway,
I think one of my things that I was pretty leery about, not Dennis Leary, just Leary in general,
Ew.
was how shit was going to run on this, because there are games
Can't be worse
immediately
than the
available.
Switch.
Well, no, it can't be. Well, it can't. It literally probably can't.
It'd be impossible.
I mean, my phone works better than the Switch at this point. An iPad works better than the Switch,
I mean, yeah.
but that's
That's
kind
my
of
preferred
obvious.
way to play Resident Evil 4 Remake.
See, there you go.
Mobile.
What?
iPad.
Everything runs so smoothly. I bought myself a dock for the system itself.
This was weird to me.
You can all you have to do is plug it in the power,
Yeah.
and it extends in through the HDMI.
Is it 4K?
No, and this isn't 4K. What you have to do, it's not 1-to-1, but you can up the res in the game. Since they're computer games, you can choose what resolution you want it to run at.
Yeah.
So if you're playing on this, you want it 720, because the game is just going to run extremely smooth. When something's that small, you don't need a ton.
Yeah.
You're not going to see pixels, really.
But on the TV.
On the TV, you can up res.
But you can up res. Does it still run like shit though?
No, it runs well.
But it's still the deck handling all the processing.
It's still a computer.
Yeah, but you're saying
I'm
it
running-
doesn't work well handheld at 1080p, but you're saying it works good on the TV at 1080p?
But I mean, if
Yes.
you're running it on a display that can handle 4K,
it's the display
I
that
can't
can't
imagine.
handle it.
It is the connection, and I think it's more about communication between this and the TV.
Okay.
Whereas consoles are made to do that. This is definitely not. It's something that's possible, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's my preferred way of playing any of these games.
Is it officially licensed, the deck?
Yeah.
Or the, whatever you call it?
Oh no, I got one off of Amazon for like $60.
What do you call it? The
I call
dock?
it like a
Like dock.
docking. It's a docking station.
But is there an official dock? Or is it just like an unofficial third party?
I don't know. I bought it in a haze of joy and jubilation. So
Yeah, I haven't.
I
I mean, I'm
read
just wondering. I
reviews.
haven't heard. You hear a lot about Steam Decks.
Yeah.
But I've never heard people talk about it being docking, like a dockable
I'm
thing.
seeing a lot more of them now.
Yeah,
Like, there's a guy that comes into the bar all the time, and he'll get a drink and just play his Steam Deck sitting at the bar.
this thing is just a complete marvel.
Is it like somebody doing CrossFit? They just have to talk about the Steam Deck all the time?
No,
so
you wanna
Steam
be left
does
alone.
make an official
They
dock.
make a dock.
Yeah.
Can I see what it is? I might actually have it. No, I have an off-brand one.
How much does the official one cost?
$80.
That's not bad.
That's
Mine, I got mine off of Amazon.
That's a lot of plugs. What the
$60. It was rated 4.5 stars.
It's pretty good.
And if it's going to do essentially the same,
And those
thing,
are all real reviews.
yeah.
Well, does
actually
Starfield know about real reviews?
But this game can run anything. I have Spider-Man Remastered on here. Runs like a fucking dream.
Can it run Civ 6 huge True Start map
I believe it could.
but huge?
I have
in the future era.
It's got Hearts of Iron.
Can
I
it
don't
run
know.
Crisis?
It can run Crisis.
Yeah, that's a better
The first
question.
one.
Yeah, the first
I don't know. No, but it runs everything really well. Now, the biggest problem is that when you go into the Steam store, they will actually have a little icon in the Steam store if you're on a Steam Deck, and it will say what's kind of iffy as if it's going to work well on your Steam Deck, and then there will be a check mark if it does work well, which is actually pretty helpful.
I like that. Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. A lot of the big name titles, especially everything that we're getting secondhand later from Sony, it's all Steam Deck compatible.
Nice.
It's all mapped 1-to-1. There's a lot of customization. I got those back buttons to work on certain video games to do special things. Horizon Zero Dawn became easier. I played maybe 2 or 3 hours of Horizon Zero Dawn, and I was just like, fuck, this looks better than the PlayStation 4. It's almost on par fidelity-wise. It runs well.
As the PS4.
I think it's better than the PS4 by a long shot.
I'm curious. I want to see some side by sides.
Because
Because if you're saying you're playing it in 720,
That's going to be tough.
no, you're saying you're playing 720p in a handheld. That's
Yeah, but that's what we were talking about.
but
Is
the
that 7?
resolution only means something depending on the size of the screen.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and performance keeps up. This little guy will hum, and he'll.
Oh,
first
he's
of all,
gonna hum.
also, I might do.
Every
Sounds like a fucking jet
every time I waggle it.
Also, don't huff the fumes. There's a
Okay.
huge
Okay.
PSA for that right now.
Yeah,
Well,
I
there
saw
actually
that this
is.
morning.
Yes.
I almost put it in the news, but I didn't have time to read it. Do you
Yeah.
know what it is? Because I'm
People are-
actually curious.
People are huffing the fumes, and then I turn to Jordan and I'm like, "Should I try huffing the fumes?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "I kind of want to huff."
Why
the
are they
fumes."
huffing? Does it get you high?
Yeah, it's a
Whoa. Whoa. Now I'm really invested.
My excitement
the
is
heating,
immeasurable.
the heating of the coils and the fans and the plastic.
It
It's
vaporizes
like-
marijuana.
It's like huffing bad chemicals. That's all.
I get full Charlie Day with this
or
shit.
good chemicals.
So I like even like Final Fantasy VII remake. Like it can make it doesn't chug.
A game you famously don't like that much, you were even playing.
I'm actually turning the corner on this.
It's because it's a great game.
It's
Thank you.
good in a way that
Dylan never admits he's wrong, so this is big for me.
it's good in a way. I should have given it a better shot. I played through the entire thing. I think I was missing certain aspect of its charm. Maybe it hit me at the wrong time.
Playing it on the hardest difficulty is the best way to play it, too.
It wouldn't let me.
You know,
it's
it's
not-
not,
only
it's not
normal
telling me what's in the
available.
fumes.
Okay.
It's just telling me don't do it. So fuck
It's just saying don't do
It's
it.
just saying don't do it. Like we don't know what's in it, but don't do it.
yeah.
But if you huff the fumes and you get high and then you enjoy your game more, who you hurting?
Yeah, exactly. Or like imagine
you're
you know,
giving yourself early dementia. That's called hurting yourself.
Well, that's long term. We're talking about short term.
yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to say I don't care about dementia. It's like,
I'm chasing the next dopamine rush. I don't care where it's
I
coming
love
from.
you, Spider-Man.
Have you had anything to drink tonight, sir? No, I was playing Spider-Man on my Steam Deck.
No, but I was actually able to play a few games on here that I normally would not have access to. My
Which ones?
Pizza Tower is one of them.
Fuck, I want to play that game.
Oh my god, I'm gonna let you try it after.
I
we're
hear it's
done here.
great.
Pizza Tower is like Wario Land 4 on crack.
That is what Dylan wants. Like, if on your gravestone to be like, I wish there was more Wario Land on crack games.
And it's funny. The models are fantastic. It's got this hand animated Microsoft Paint feel to it, and it just kind of like sicks you out a little bit. You're just like, hell yeah.
it looks pretty awful.
I've heard it's great.
but not in a bad way.
No, it looks gross in
Yeah.
like the 90s Nickelodeon kind of
Yep.
way.
like
it
real monsters.
pretty much, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ren and Stimpy.
I can't sing this thing's praises enough. I think that it's a brilliant device. Obviously, they know what they're fucking doing at Valve.
So,
Period.
are you going to quit being the Nintendo and now be the Steam Dick?
I think you got it.
Steam Dick? I don't know.
Like a private eye.
Yeah.
The Steam Detective.
How about we call it? How about we call it? Okay, Dylan. Now take a steamer.
The Steamer.
A steamer dick.
Steamer,
The
yeah.
Milwaukee
The
Steamer.
dick.
Milwaukee
The
Steamer.
Milwaukee Steamer. That's pretty good. No, I honestly, this is first of all, it's one of the best gifts I've received in a very long time. Second of all, I think this thing is so versatile, and just the offering of what it gives to you as a consumer, it makes everything accessible. There are home buttons and there's mapping and there's a level of customization you just don't get with anything else.
Yeah.
And I've got to go to town for it. Go to town on it. There we go.
Run a
There you
train
go.
on it.
I got to run a train on this thing.
Hell yeah.
You guys are welcome. You guys are welcome to join.
Hell yeah.
My second and last thing, Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora.
Okay, this is what I really want to
Yeah,
hear.
This is what I want to hear too, actually.
This is the next
because I
game
am
on my
literally
list.
debating
To me, it's like
after this
You're
to go
talking
buy it.
Steam and it's in one ear out the other. You say Avatar, I'm like, okay.
Okay, here's what I'll say. First 3 hours, oof. Whoa. After you get your Ikran, your flying dragon beast,
They're called Ikrons, huh?
they're called Ikran. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah. And you learn all this in the game. And if you watch the movies, good, which you didn't.
I just watched them well. I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, once the open world actually becomes more accessible, this is probably the best looking game I've played in a very long time.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
This game, flying on the Ikran, there's no texture. There's not a lot of texture load in, but the world is so open to you, and there's so much verticality. There's so much exploration. The stealth is really good. All the systems and all the exploration, running as a Na'vi through the forest on top of
Just fast
like
as fuck.
stumps and shit, and you're just swinging off of stuff, and you feel like you're in this world.
You feel like
Does
Batman.
it mean you feel like Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I feel not V.
You feel
Does it
like
make you
Connor
feel like a
from
woman?
Assassin's Creed 3.
I feel like a not V.
Man,
a Navi,
Not V.
not V.
not
V.
V.
You
It's
would
not V.
you would say it right.
Yeah, I did say it right. I mean, I've
Brad,
been.
and that's why you will never be one of the people.
Yes.
There are some.
I don't care. Give me one of these mechs.
There
I'm
are-
gonna shoot them.
There is some environmental engine that they're running that I can't fathom because everything is all happening all at once.
It's the new engine. It's called Pandora.
Is
I
it?
just made that up.
I was gonna say, isn't this the Ubisoft's like Snowdrop engine or something?
It's running everything very well. The design is really tight. There is your standard Ubisoft bullshit. This is Far Cry Pandora. It is literally a Far Cry game for the most part.
Which I'm totally fine with because I've liked the
I've loved-
majority
yeah.
of Far Cry games.
Far Cry 6 can eat a dick, but
Yeah, well, yeah, I played a little bit of that off of Game Pass and I was done.
yeah.
You know what
Five
this
didn't-
reminds me of a little bit is like Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War. It's like a game that's not super original, but it's
Yep.
something that's done extremely well that
Yeah.
you're familiar with in a franchise that is beloved.
Yeah.
What's cool about it is you have half like very primitive Na'vi tools.
Not
He
V.
did it. You see it?
Not V.
Love it.
And
Jake Sully.
you also have some of like human weapons, like assault rifles, shotguns, no pistols, weirdly enough. I think you're just too big for them because you're a big, tall Na'vi.
Yeah, pistols.
It'd be like
It is-
the noisy cricket.
Yeah, exactly. And the shifts you can do in gameplay, the exploration on its own, it's very rewarding. There is a lot to do. Some of it's garbage. Memory paintings can go eat a dick. It's literally a game
just
where
like-
you match like thumbstick movements based on the hand gestures of someone doing like a prayer.
That sounds so fun.
Oh man, you remember the spray paint mission? That reminds me of the spray paint missions in Infamous 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Remember you had to turn the control.
Oh,
No, was it
3?
3?
No,
Where you had to,
Second Son.
yeah, where you had to like
Yep.
turn the controller sideways and
Yep.
anyway.
No, this game looks fantastic. I think the story takes place right before Way of Water, so it's an interquel, essentially. But you actually get to see Na'vi of different tribes.
Do you get to see the lava Navi?
I will eventually. The mountain Na'vi,
Oh, okay.
the rock Na'vi. Then there's like I just reached the plains a little while ago. They all ride horses and they're all kind of brutalistic and combatant.
So this
They're
is spoiling the
nomads.
world for Avatars 3 and 4.
Actually,
'Cause you
I
know
No,
James-
I heard it wasn't supposed to though.
But James
Like,
Cameron
it
is
only-
100% involved in this game, I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Yes,
he
yes.
was.
So yeah, if they're revealing
They are
different
revealing.
kinds of
They are
Navi,
revealing.
this is revealing things.
This is revealing things because when you first start out, you basically have the forest Na'vi, essentially, or what you would call maybe the mountain Na'vi,
We call them the OGs.
the OGs. Then it's the plains, and I haven't
Scientific
reached
term.
the third area yet. But everything that you can like about this game makes it worth it. Everything that kind of drags it down has everything to do with waypoints and missions There's no HUD in this game for the most part, except for your.
Love that.
There's also then no minimap,
Oh,
which actually works because you can track things by scent. So if you click, like, if you highlight certain things in your like hunter's guide and stuff like that, your nose will follow you the way. You have like an avatar sense. You've got like the Na'vi sense. So you
kind
can
of like
track
Ghost of Tsushima.
It's like any like Batman Arkham. It's like one of those, and it actually works really well. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it still works phenomenally. I still think Ubisoft doesn't know how to make missions compelling or interesting or worth doing on any emotional level, but everything else about this, I found myself just fucking around with things, and it was worth doing because you could just feel it. I don't know. This is in my top 10.
Wow.
This is in my top 10 of the year.
Yeah, but that's a lot.
It's the next game I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I was going to wait till payday, but now maybe I do it.
I was literally thinking about after this popping over to get it because
Honestly, you could wait for a price reduction, and I wouldn't blame you. However, this game is not selling well, and I want another one.
Yeah.
I recently bought, Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, and Baldur's Gate 3. I have enough games to keep me busy for 4 months.
Yeah.
Plus, FF7 Rebirth comes out in February.
I have to get a PS5 for that now.
And potentially Elden Ring DLC. So, I want to play Avatar.
You don't have to.
No, I do. I want to. But
I do not have a physical copy.
It's very low on my list of things that need to happen. I'll use this as a segue. I recently beat Mario Wonder. It's not worth clapping for. It's not impressive. It wasn't tough.
Some of those later levels.
I'll bet it was tough. I'll bet it was really tough.
It was.
Some of those
You're
later
a tough
levels,
gamer boy, aren't you?
It was very cute.
Yes, you are.
It was very cute.
Some of those later levels have a pretty big spike in difficulty.
If one of those.
Oh, I'll bet it does.
It does,
You are a very tough gamer boy.
Thank you. It is not tough. The final challenge level in the special world I beat on my first try.
Oh, nice.
One of the levels before it, when I get turned into a Goomba, that took me like 20 tries, and it wasn't because it was challenging; it's because it was dumb.
Yeah. Well,
But
try being a Goomba.
the game was a whole bunch of pretty good Mario. If I had never played Mario Brothers 3, Mario World, New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers 2, and Wii U, if I hadn't played any of those, I'd be like, "This is great."
This beats the new Super Mario Brothers by a long shot, man.
I think it's great. I like the elephant. I like the bubble. Like, they're cool new power ups. Honestly, I was underwhelmed, but I did think it was, on the scale of 2D Marios, a little more inventive than their most recent efforts have been.
I think it's more inventive, and I also think that there's something to be said about like precision in platforming, and this kind of nails it.
I don't love all of it. Mario's wall kicking never feels good. The fact that you have to like lock on and then turn and jump, it never feels right. There's one challenge level that involves a lot of just wall kicking back and forth.
But that's always been the mechanic of Mario's wall jumping.
His wall jumping does not feel good, especially from somebody who plays Celeste and
ruined
Hollow
by
Knight. Like
Celeste.
I
was going to say.
I play a lot of like hardcore platformers, and this one is not a hardcore. It doesn't work on a hardcore level for me. I'm sure you could talk to speedrunners or world record people, and they would. I just might be missing something. Overall, it's fine. I did enjoy it, but I didn't love it. I have gotten about 3 hours into Baldur's Gate 3, and immediately, wow, that game is so charming.
Yeah.
Immediately after you start the game,
From the jump.
and the first time you roll the die, I'm like, oh god, I'm in.
It's fucking crack.
I'm so in. Like, there's a brain begging to be let out of a body. I'm like, this, and immediately I'm like, this seems important, and I could be fucking something up down the line. And
Turns out not really.
You do
They
like
all
a
crash.
but you do like a dexterity check or whatever, and I pull the brain out, and they're like, do you want to try and like make sure the like cause a weakness so you can make sure it doesn't go out of control? And then I did it wrong, and it ran away. I'm like, shit.
I always
Do I restart
smush
the game? But
I heard that you should be saving often.
well, there's
Save scumming is going to be important.
Yes.
And I do. But so far, like in the characters, all interesting so far, which, in an RPG, characters are a dime a dozen and usually very uninteresting.
Every single character is worth having on your team. every single character is worth talking to.
Yeah.
And following their quest lines. Don't ever ignore a character because they're going to be with you for the entire time, and they level up with you regardless of if they're in your party.
I feel bad because I got like my set crew that I rock with,
Same.
that I like playing with, and if I don't include somebody on my journey, I will go out of my way to change my play style so that Lae'zel can ride with me for a little bit because they're interesting.
I made Lae'zel a paladin.
I was just gonna say, I heard one of the things that really trip people up is that if you go against your oath, especially for paladins, if you go
become an
against your
oathbreaker.
oath, yeah,
I've done it, yeah.
Like I had a friend of mine that did that, and he had no idea. He completely started his playthrough over
Oh,
because he broke his oath.
no, you can get your oath back.
He didn't
you just
know
have
that.
to pay withers.
Yeah.
He didn't know that.
Yeah.
He completely started his playthrough over because he was like, I didn't know this game did that. So I mean, he wasn't that far into it, but you know,
Well, I restarted like 4 times trying to figure out which character I liked, and like
How far do you get before? I'm thinking about how often you restart games, and it kind of bothers me.
No, it's okay. Like this
I
actually
wanted-
playing different classes. It's almost like playing a different game. Like 'cause
Yeah.
you're experiencing the same thing, and it's all about experimentation because you want to find the play style that's going to work really well for you.
Yeah.
And choosing like say like a monk. I played a little bit with the monk. I thought the monk was cool. Never kept up with that character. And then I would also try different races and how the races interact with
Yeah.
the classes. And you can be an absolute beast. I was a half orc paladin once, and I was just completely obliterating everything in sight. Or I chose to be a character that looks strikingly like me. I'll take a picture for the Discord. But he's a little gnome, and he has my fucking face. It is so weird. And he's a bard.
Yep.
And his level of persuasion is like +7, something
bards
around
are
there.
a lot of fun.
Someone's talking about God, and you roll a persuasion check for God is dead, eat ass, and they're like,
Pretty much, yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
you're right.
But I like my little guy, and he's romancing Karlach, and like, it's kind of like a forbidden romance. She's just this giant tiefling who's constantly on fire, and I'm just like, oh, you're cute.
my
Oh, if
God.
only we could touch. It's very romantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just throw some water on it.
I have.
So what are you playing as?
I am a tiefling that looks a lot like me.
You are.
He's got a big dumb beard. I wish I had hair as cool as him though. It's got like some shaved on the sides, like crazy long man braid thing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but it's great. I'm a wizard. I'm into history, and
So do you take Gale with you, or do you leave him at camp?
I don't think he's found Gale yet.
haven't found him yet.
You're like 3 hours in.
I know. Well, there's an hour of character creation.
That's true. Okay. Well,
And,
that's not
and
a-
if you're just wandering around that opening area, Gale is hard to spot unless you're really paying attention to like side dialogue, because you remember where you get him.
Yeah.
And like
In the opening area,
he's in the opening.
not in the
You can get
not in the
all-
prologue mission.
No.
No, but okay.
Are you on the Nautiloid?
He
No,
got
I
off-
land.
he's
I
off the
landed.
Nautiloid.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've got Asterion.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a
so
Asterion.
lost right now. Go.
But yes, loving the game so far.
Have you been playing it? Still?
No, I bought the physical copy. I pre-ordered it, paid for it. It's all. I'm just sitting there waiting for it.
Oh, my God.
Oh, then
Yeah.
I would hate to reveal too much. Then.
Yeah.
Luckily-
That's okay. I felt like I've had enough revealed to me, and I barely cracked the surface. I imagine
In 3
So I
months,
hear
you'll
there's
have
so much-
forgotten all of this.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Once you
choice
get
that I love this game because choices actually matter,
And realistically, if you think you can do something,
you can kind
you
of do
can
it. yeah.
probably do it.
I like when I do something and immediately 2 of my party disapproves. I'm like, guys, I just agreed to the sub quest. I didn't do it. I was just talking. And they're like, no,
It depends on who you got with you.
well, I just like that they'd be like, we do not approve.
Asterion likes it when you're sneaky. Lae'zel likes it when you're rough and tough.
I lied to somebody and then started attacking him, and it says Asterion is into this. And I'm like,
yeah,
Yeah.
Astarion's like, that fucking brand.
there are ways to boost their approval of you without like it being too detrimental to the plot. I would recommend keeping everyone kind of happy. Be a good leader.
That's kind of how I live my life. So we'll just see how it goes.
I think this game is phenomenal. I think this game is a complete and absolute marvel.
I will say this: top 30 for this year.
Oh, perfect.
wow, top 30, huh?
That's bold.
I'm making a top 50 list just so I can prove Dylan wrong.
Man, I've got almost 40 on my list.
We can segue quick into
was
what
a
you're
big
playing,
year.
Tyler, because it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3, right?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. I have finally settled on a class and a character and a race that I enjoy. It only took me like 60 hours. No.
So you've restarted the game multiple times.
What is your
So my trajectory was I started with a fighter, like a human fighter, but then Lae'zel's a fighter, and I was like, I don't want two fighters. And I didn't know if I was.
Boring anyway.
I also didn't know if I was going to be able to dual class, so I was like, I don't want to get locked in as fighter. So then I switched to a warlock, and then I was like,
pretty good.
Well, Blade of Frontiers is right there, so like I fucked that up. So then
You can change them too.
yeah, I didn't know this at the time though. So the first two times I restarted very quickly.
Oh, that's okay. What is now? Because mine is Gnomish Bard. I can do so much crazy shit.
What's
as
your
a
Gnomish
bard.
Bard's name?
Pigeon.
Fucking awesome.
I have a half elf ranger
game.
named Edmar.
Edmar.
Yeah,
Oh, Rangers are kind of fun in this.
My tiefling is Caraxius.
I like that.
Craxus
It means
is cool.
grace in tiefling.
He looked up
damn.
something in lore.
My character's name is Edmar Edfas. He has a first and last name, and it's spelt all
And
fucking
everyone
cool.
says it.
No, it's just
Well, I
Edmar
mean-
in there, but like his friends know his last
His
name
friends
is
know.
Edfas.
Hi,
No.
this is my friend. I won't say your full name right now on the podcast, Dylan, but
Pigeon.
no, if I said like this is Dylan last name, do
Hoff. You can say my last name. It's fine.
you want your address?
Don't get swatted.
The moon.
They're gonna swat the moon now because of you.
Sweet.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is fantastic. I am now past the point where I know what's happening anymore. This is the furthest I've ever gotten, and I just
So
made-
you've left that first area,
Yep.
and
I've been getting out of the main second area, as well as fucking around in the north area of that one area.
Yep.
I appreciate your avoiding spoilers. Thank
Yes.
you.
we are actually avoiding it. And there are things that happen in that like weird second act that are so crazy.
I'm really worried now because I had a lot of the first like 10 hours of the game mapped out. So I knew who to bring with me and what to say in a lot of areas. And now I'm at like untreaded territory and like,
So
we shouldn't talk
stressful.
too much
I won't.
more on
No, I
Baldur's
won't.
Gate 3.
But here's what I'm going to say. This is my last piece of advice. We are video game enthusiasts. We are players. We know when a boss battle is ahead. We know when something's about to happen.
Save.
Just remember to save.
I've
it's
lost-
going to.
Is there a setting to just ramp up auto saving like crazy?
There is, however, the autosave rewrites itself on the same slot.
yeah.
So I always have like a certain save ready that I've named like Pigeon Act 1. And then if I approve of everything I did, then I will continue with that. Because there are some I will have to play this game at some point where all of my decisions, good or bad, I'm just going to deal with it. And
That's the only way to play, in my opinion.
That's
I don't do it. I will save scum, and it's unfortunate because I want to see everything, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to be forced to do it a second time.
the number of checks in the real world that I get wrong is who I am.
Well, yeah,
It's defining.
but I'm the
Brad,
master of
I
worlds.
roll joke checks all the time. I roll twos. They never land.
that one landed.
But you got a +5 charisma. It still doesn't land.
Thank you.
but-
But your charisma makes you a 7.
Yeah, so we'll talk about Baldur's Gate. I'm assuming probably next week in some capacity.
And we'll do a full episode at some point.
Yep.
We're
Other than
gonna have
that,
to.
I've started very lightly toiling away in God of War Ragnarok, so that I'm just going to beat the game again and then play the DLC. But
Just
I want
going to beat the game.
That
Yeah.
away.
I'm just gonna do it.
just
Are you
gonna,
doing,
thought about
are you
getting-
doing New Game Plus for Ragnarok then?
no. It's been so long that I just went bare bones. I went with a harder difficulty this time because I played like normal.
I hear the
first time.
Valkyries are pretty tough in that one.
Yeah, well, just those fucking skull people that you have to kill are terrible. But
They're not Valkyries in Ragnarok.
there's, I think,
The-
one.
the-
Confused
they're
with
the
the
skull
first
people.
one.
the kings, the dead kings or whatever.
Yeah.
The skull people?
The skull people. I don't know.
the skull crawlers.
Skeletons.
I watched the playthrough of Ragnarok. I've got nothing to play it on, so
My goopy
Play it
goblin
in your
gamer
mind.
brain.
eventually it'll come to this.
There you go.
Yeah, true. My goopy goblin gamer brain is making that hard though, because there is a lot of this game that I know already that is really a good experience the first time around.
The repetition.
Yeah, it's kind of a slog sometimes.
This was your game of the year last year.
Yeah, and
I will remind you.
And I did say at the time that I know when I replay this, it's going to be difficult because of how long the cutscenes are. You really got to be in the mood to play it, and I just really want to play the DLC. But
sometimes replaying a game is a different game. Sometimes replaying a game is the exact same game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes replaying a game brings out a fresh new perspective, and sometimes it's like, well,
You start to find all the flaws.
Yep.
It's like, oh yeah, I remember that.
And then I did do one thing that I'm ashamed of. I bought Madden 24 for half price so that I could play with my friends.
well, that's acceptable.
It's my first Madden in 5 years.
Is that the football game?
Yeah.
The real football game?
It's named after that Tough Acton Acton guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tough Acton.
You got skin rash. Tough
Too
Acton.
much mustard on that one.
Yeah.
It's
called a microtransaction.
I play fantasy or franchise mode. They did change a lot compared to the last game I had. For half price, the jump in quality that I experienced in playing this game was worth the half price, but I'll be good on Madden.
When was the last time you played one?
19.
Madden 19? Okay.
Yeah. Tom Brady on the cover, I think. That one. Back when he was still in the league and a Patriot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been fun to play as Jordan Love and the new Packers with the new passing system.
That is cool.
Yeah, the game's all right. The presentation still fucking sucks. The physics and animations are a lot better than 19, obviously.
Really?
It's a pretty game. Like it looks pretty. It's still glitchy as all fuck.
I'm so curious about it because there's a part of me that I wish you would make a video of you booting it up, and I want to see what that fucking menu looks like. It is
god awful, and the lag and the buttons.
Oh,
but what is the song that plays?
It's a bunch of mumble rap and stuff that I don't listen to.
You're finally 30.
Yeah, no, I just there's this one song that they have on there that plays all the time.
You know the woman.
I'd be fine with Wolf Mother.
Which was in every single game. For
Which
10
Madden
years.
was there was one where I discovered the band Hollywood Undead.
That had to have been like
That was like Madden
10.
like 12 or something like that.
That's not Johnny Depp's band. That's Hollywood Vampires.
No, Hollywood Undead is like
What a
rap
horrible
metal
name.
or whatever.
Hollywood Vampires.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, but it's cross-platform, so I can play with my coworkers and my brother.
Yeah.
And is that aspect of it worth it to you?
That's why I bought it, so that I would have a game to play with my brother. And
You are absolved of your sin.
yes, we're going to do a connected franchise, and that'll be fun.
You're absolved.
Thank you.
Stoy, what are you playing?
I don't know if you remember this, but I told you to your extreme dismay that
This was the Christmas party? 'Cause I
Yeah,
don't
this was at the
remember
Christmas
as
party.
much.
Yeah, okay, all right. So
I
you don't
didn't
remember this.
most of it.
I was extremely disappointed to hear about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 campaign. And it got me thinking, I've been really lacking a good first-person shooter, like linear campaign.
Okay.
It seems like everything is more open world. Everything's more like, hey, you could choose your own adventures type of thing, whatever. I really had this craving for like really solid linear first-person shooter campaigns. And when you think about it, we really hadn't had one in a long time. Like everything's kind of done the whole...
You're right, actually.
Like Prey, I want to say was the last,
Which Prey?
like the more recent Prey.
Did you buy the Metro
Oh,
game?
but that one was more of like a. It was more like a simulation. game.
Yeah, but it was about as close to a linear campaign as I can remember. I last
Yeah.
played.
Okay, wow, that's a while ago. That's
Yeah,
like
that's
what?
a while ago,
That's
yeah.
like 2018.
What did
Yeah.
you get?
Huh?
What have you been playing?
Like all of the Call of Duty campaigns,
Oh, you've just been playing all of them.
all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, some of them are good, some are bad. I am on Infinite Warfare right now.
I love that one. It has Kevin Spacey in it.
No, that's Advanced Warfare.
He's coming back.
I like the one with.
He was
Kevin
on Tucker
I
Carlson.
just beat that one actually, and that one's not as bad as I thought. Like Black Ops 3 was hot garbage.
Black Cops 3?
Black Ops 3, not Black Cops.
Black Cops 3.
Black Ops. Black.
Cock?
Bad
Are you
Boys
saying
2?
Cock?
No, Black. BLAK.
Black Cops.
O
Kebab.
O
I'd play-
O F.
I'd rather play Black Cops than Black Ops.
Yeah.
Say cool. Catch
Some of
lines
them
and
are good.
stuff.
Some of them are bad. Like the Modern Warfare games, like the original Modern Warfare games, are still the best. Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3.
Call of Duty 2.
Yeah.
I think
Not to be confused with Call of Duty 2 Modern Warfare 2.
I think people are getting burnt out on this shit.
They should make those games multiplayer.
Well, here's the thing.
Man, could you imagine?
I liked Warzone for a while during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I found myself actually pretty entranced by it, and I thought it was really good. And I think it was because I had nothing better to do, and I think that's the
Opportunity.
The biggest,
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest slight against it. I was getting high every day and just playing video games and making chili. But
Hell yeah.
It's a wonderful life.
Beautiful chapter of your life you had there.
no, I got
We
really
all had a
fat.
chapter like that, yeah.
You remember, I got fat.
I don't remember you getting fat, but I remember when you got skinny.
Oh, yeah.
The fat was gradual, and all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, Dylan's skinny now.
Yeah, I work out.
That's because he was fat.
That's
I
when
do a job. I lift.
that's because you were playing.
I got a little fat again. It's unfortunate, but I've been depressed.
I mean that's just a footnote. I just been kind of doing that, but otherwise, I've been playing the Resident Evil 4 remake VR version.
Now we're in some territory.
Oh my
here.
god!
It's first person?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
How
the
does it-
entirety of
VR
the
in
campaign.
third person would be horrible.
Yeah, it would be pretty bad.
I kind of like it. You
It
can
is
kinda look
entirely.
around. That'd be fun.
It's the campaign in its entirety.
Is it good?
Oh my god, it's so good.
The chainsaw guy would just be enough for me to.
It
put
is
down and never
terrifying.
Pick it up.
It is actually terrifying because like when he closes that gap in front of you and he's just like this right in your face. Oh man, that's terrifying.
Shit.
I know that the game makes concessions in VR too. There's like fewer villagers you have to fight because
It's what they take less bullets.
okay.
So because obviously they have to account for that.
You
know,
can't see
can aim
behind
like
you,
shit.
and
Yeah.
like it makes a difference when you can plan on being able to sneak up on people. It's just a different game.
Yeah,
think
I
that-
actually noticed that because for one, it's actually easier to sneak up on people because they have this mode where it's like you grab your vest, with the controller and you pull out the knife and then you
with the controller.
yeah.
That's
So,
so
you,
cool.
you pull from your chest. Well, all the weapons, like if you have the shotgun, you can pull it from behind you.
Yes,
Queen. It's really cool. But
I love that.
so like
Sing
if
it.
you're trying to sneak
Tell
up
me
on
again.
people,
Do it slower.
you grab the knife and then you hold it like this, but then you click the trigger button and then you hold it like this, like you're ready to stab them, and then it's like you sneak up on them and you just
Now, I like the fact that these guys are less bullet spongy because in that first Resident Evil 4, I
Talking
remember
about
I could
GameCube?
I could pop heads super easily.
Mm-hmm.
In the remake, I'm just like, why am I wasting so many bullets? I'm really getting you in the goddamn head, and I know I landed that shot, and
Yeah.
I did. I missed the gooey feeling of popping one in, the head explodes, and maybe a Las Plagas comes out.
yeah.
But-
It doesn't happen that often in the remake period, and even in VR mode. The one thing that they did improve is that the ability to like stab them.
Yeah.
When they're down. So like you see them down and then it's like, oh hey, that the little icon pops up with the knife. So then you pull the knife out and then you just go down and you stab straight downward.
Oh, that's
and then it the camera pulls out to do the animation of, my boy Leon just
You've got a real crush.
is full on 100%.
Yeah.
So it's interesting when a game isn't made for VR and it gets the VR port. Because with Skyrim VR, what I found myself doing most of all is looking at ceilings and just kind of marveling at world design because it's not something you just normally do. I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, is there anything in the game that you have found particularly like, what about VR have you found the most interesting so far for that?
The fact that they put detail on so many things that you think you can pick it up. Like even like there was like the scene after you get the thing put in your neck. Try to avoid spoilers. And then you walk through
whatever.
that kitchen, that dining room area.
Yeah.
Where all the shit on the table. Like everything is so painstakingly detailed that it feels like you could just pick it all up. Fully realized 3D. Like it just looks like so immersive. It's not just like a flat picture or just like really shittily done. Like they really
3D
spent
models,
time. Yeah.
The texturing in that
man.
RE engine is astonishing.
It really
And
is.
The game
I think
is
that's
beautiful.
where
Yeah.
I think especially like the remakes, the other remakes they had is that these games are starting to look better than they should, which is a weird thing to say, but like what it's running off of and what it's doing, the art department in Capcom is firing on all cylinders.
That RE engine, is amazing. Because I even played, and just the ability of what it could do, because I would say a couple months ago I played Village. And that one seemed like they phoned it in a little bit, like it was good. But it was like, well, let's just try to kind of get this done as quick as possible.
Did you
But-
play Village in VR?
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I'm. That's
That's
what I'm
the one
talking
you're
about.
talking about specifically,
Yeah,
okay.
that they kind of just like phoned it in a little bit. It looked good, but it was like, I felt like it was tacked on. Whereas with RE4 remake, they spent the time.
I wonder if when they went into Village, they maybe didn't know that they would do a VR port of it, and maybe going into RE4 remake, they're like, we're going to do this, so take extra time.
That makes sense.
So they maybe started from the beginning to be like, hey, let's kind of put this in the back end and let's really kind of focus on this.
Man,
They've also
Resident
got a
Evil
good-
has we're in a golden age right now. They haven't had a miss in a while.
Yeah.
And I mean, Resident Evil 3 remake even less beloved, but still people
I still loved it.
I liked it.
people still love it. So yeah,
I think it's
I'm
fine.
Bitch
I'm-
can't even swim.
I'm-
I wanted that on a T-shirt.
I wonder if we're going to get Code Veronica remake.
Well,
I think the next one logically is 5.
But Code Veronica comes out that came out before 3 and 4, right?
I know. I don't think they're going to do Code.
That's why they
they,
should.
they need to do code. But I from what I heard, there was a rumbling that 5 is going to be the next one.
I would love a 5 remake. I liked 5 a lot.
I mean, I would too, but because I heard like it's
There's not enough Leon
especially with
Kennedy in the
the
game.
new Resident Evil games, the Boulder punching Chris Redfield is canon, so they have to make a Resident Evil 5 remake because the Heisenberg,
Yeah.
where he made that comment at the boss fight,
Yeah.
that you Boulder punching, fuck. At
Great.
least I think that's how that went.
What are you
Sounds about right.
buying?
Yeah.
I would not be able to play RE4 in VR. I would shit my pants, especially the well, I don't want to. Well, it's spoiler. The Ashley segment thing.
You just be trying to kiss her in VR the whole time.
No, the sneaking around and it's all dark and spooky. And
I haven't gotten
honestly,
there yet.
Nothing's scarier than 7 in VR, in my opinion.
7
Seven-
has the most visceral.
The most
Yeah.
atmosphere.
yeah.
Yeah.
Getting your hand chopped off, I was like, what? I
Yeah.
was like, no.
See, I also get motion sick pretty quickly in VR, so I've been largely turned off. To
And
a
I
lot
will
of it.
say Resident Evil 4 remake is so detailed that you can only, for me, you can only spend so much time in it. I would say the first time I played it, I got about an hour, and I was like, "This is so detailed," and my eyes are just like darting because I'm looking at everything.
Yeah.
and my eyes are just immensely active, and I think that's what gave me a headache.
Skyrim VR was so interesting to me when Brad lent me his VR.
Yeah.
And I played it traditionally with the controller, but just having it so that wherever you looked, you could aim your bow. Mm-hmm. And
It's weird gameplay, but cool.
it feel like that added layer of depth. And I can understand why they tried doing like 3D stuff. Like everyone's still trying to figure out what that next layer of immersed reality is. And VR, I think, is the fucking way to go. I think movies will be made for VR sooner than I think video games are going to perfect
What
it.
you need is James Cameron or Christopher Nolan to say, I'm making a 10-minute short VR experience.
Cameron would do it.
Kojima would,
I think
Then
yeah,
be the
Kojima would be
trailblazer.
a good one. Yeah,
yeah.
I just get
And maybe
so-
that's what he's working on, because they've said that the new Xbox thing, I don't know if it's VR, but they said it's like the next step between film and video games.
Yeah. So it's going to be an FMV.
I just get so motion sick, and my motion sickness lasts forever. I can only do like maybe a half hour in it, and then I'm nauseous for several hours afterwards. I just do not mix well with VR, which is a shame.
Brad, I heard something interesting. I heard only fucking dorks get motion sick.
I cannot confirm nor deny that. And
I'm kidding.
Matt
Dylan,
props,
I have feelings, and you hurt damn near every single one of them right there.
also,
hey, I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of creature comforts you can turn on to make you less motion sick.
I just also want to shout out to all these poor people that can't play VR games. Like my mom had one eye
Such
that
a
didn't
shame,
work.
yeah.
And so she couldn't watch 3D movies. She wouldn't give a fuck anyways. But there's just like a large number of people that
Yeah.
they're going to miss out on
Accessibility.
it until
Yeah.
they, because they can't, there's no way to get around it. You don't have that perspective at all. If
You can
don't
try to
have two-
build sea legs, you could try to build up to it, but it's going to be a terrifying ordeal.
Yeah.
I had a mechanic friend of mine. I had him play Gran Turismo 7 in VR. Big car guy, obviously. That's what he does for a living. He couldn't wear it for more than a minute. He was like, the helmet, came off. He was like, I can't. No.
Well, Brad let me play Squadrons.
Oh, that was
Squadron.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I was doing fine in it, but the moment I tried to like loop or barrel roll,
Do a
I was like,
barrel roll.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Watching you do that was such a highlight. It was so fun.
Dude.
I forgot.
Whoa.
Call of Duty
Whoa.
had a VR game? It came packed with Infinite Warfare.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It was like obviously space combat.
Yeah, but
was-
Batman Arkham also had a VR game.
Yeah, that was the Batman one was actually really good.
The best part of that game
Was it?
No,
It kind of was.
the best part of
I
that game
disagree.
was looking in a mirror and just dancing as Batman.
And then all of a sudden it turns black, and then you're dancing as Joker because now you're the Joker.
I love it because it like the first mission is like, who killed Nightwing?
And then I'm just dancing for the next 10 minutes. Alfred, there's a mirror here. I look really cool.
Nightwing's dead. You have to.
You're
you have
watching
to
the-
do playback.
You're
you have to
watching
do
the AR
playback.
footage. Yeah.
Alfred, do the playback of my ward's death.
Who's going to die? Not me.
Was he
I
dead?
think that I will admit the most fun part about playing Resident Evil 4 is playing it like that, where it's like you have the freedom to be who you want to be. And playing Resident Evil 4 like John Wick is amazing because I find myself holding my gun like this. Like, because, if you put both the controllers kind of close together.
Are you doing gun fu?
Hell yeah, I'm doing gun fu.
That's cool.
That's so
yeah.
sick.
And it's just like you're just walking around and you're just pop, 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 and then you can automatically reload, pull back, and just.
And then you're just like grabbing your knife and stabbing people.
Do you
No,
ever
literally, yeah.
grab your knife and toss it and catch it and stab them? That'd be dope.
You forget you have the strap on.
You can toss and catch. You can
Oh,
totally toss.
man.
Whoa.
And catch. Yeah. Well, and then obviously, you can grab your shotgun, pop, then throw it back, pull out the handgun, and just bop, bop, bop.
You should attach the controller to the other end of a nunchuck so you can use it like a nunchuck even.
I'm gonna need to buy a nunchuck. Do you have a nunchuck?
Nope.
I got a guy.
I bet Josh has one.
Give me a guy.
I got a guy.
Give me a nunchuck.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
No.
But yeah, otherwise, Sea of Stars. I finally downloaded that because I've heard so many good things about it.
It's
I-
good. I
especially-
fell off.
Especially, I've heard that with people that like if you did not grow up and if you weren't a fan of like Chrono Trigger
I'm a huge Chrono Trigger fan.
and you fell off of it.
There is a missions base. It's a poison swamp. I mean, RPGs have these things. I fucking hate the poison swamp, and it's not because it's poison. It's literally just because I felt like I wasn't doing fucking shit. It was too long of a segment.
Okay.
Where I'm like, okay,
And you felt like you weren't really
this
leveling up?
Yeah,
Okay.
I basically felt like this is going on too long. I'm going to play something else.
Okay.
And then I never went back to it.
That
But
is-
I got
there is a
I
point
got
in a lot of
6
those
hours.
RPGs,
I got 6 hours in. Like
Okay.
that's not for nothing.
Yeah.
You know. So
I'm only 2 hours in, so I didn't really have much to say about it. But obviously, it's scratching that old RPG itch. The Super Nintendo era RPGs.
what's the name of your fat friend? Garl.
Garl, yeah,
I like Garl.
yeah.
That's in the game, right? You're not talking about a real world person?
Yeah, Garl is your fat
Garl,
friend.
Garl.
Okay.
His name is Garl.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Dylan, that's so insensitive.
He makes a really good jelly.
Fine. I describe a lot of my friends by their physical appearance: beard, long hair, glasses,
That's accurate.
Yeah.
baseball cap.
Well, Tie-Dye Brewery Ho, you want to take us to the break?
Yeah, we are going to take a break. I'm going to grab another beer, and you're going to listen to
Nothing.
Nothing. There's no.
There might
nothing?
be there's a little jingle between these.
You're going to
the
listen
second
to a
break.
little jingle.
Do 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 do.
Release
do,
the Christmas
do,
cut.
Do 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 do. Oh,
This might be a good spot to find some ingredients.
does that list change every year?
Yes.
Oh, it does. Okay.
I actually have a top 50 list of every year, and my top 10 films is in my top 20 lists of the year. But it didn't make the top 10 lists.
Damn.
I get made
That's
fun of for
efficient.
playing. I get on a video game podcast. I get made fun of for playing the most new video games.
For somebody
it is
that-
so stressful.
No, for somebody that seems so against the concept of awards or like individual opinions on like, it's like a best RPG of the year. I can see you scoffing at that, but you take it so seriously, your personal list.
But here's the thing: I'm the only one who can validate the world because it's my reality, and you're all fucking living in it. So
I mean,
we
when
have
you think about it.
We have a supporting character syndrome over here when you're around.
I mean, you guys are just NPCs to me.
No, we're NPDs. We're non-playable Dylans.
Well, you guys could be party members if you really wanted to. You just got to up your game a little bit.
Whenever we go camping and you come over and you just check in on me and you see what's new, and then you walk away, you're like, we should go separately from now on.
I go, "What's it like being a vampire?" And you're just like, "What do you mean, Dylan?" And I'm just like, "I don't know, man. You were really hungry, and I saw you.
I saw you
eat."
drinking that cherry Coke.
That sounds like a bit of a red
I
flag.
saw you skulking around at camp, and yes, that's a red flag.
Oh, it's
we
a
had
red
the same
flag.
idea.
That's a segue.
Boom. Yes, so
Or an
today
intro.
we are talking about red flags in gaming, personal red flags. When you see this attached to a game, you run. And you run as fast as you possibly can.
I like this as a topic. I've thought about it quite a bit.
And this was
I created a
Brad, who suggested this?
Story's got a
This
fucking laundry
This was
list.
suggested by Ryan on our Discord, RyRyJK.
Was it Ryan or Kip?
This is Ryan.
Oh, Ryan, yeah. Okay.
We have this great little channel where people can write down episode suggestions, and we're going to start trying to plumb the depths there a little bit more.
There's gold in them hills.
There's gold in them there hills. And yeah, so this was suggested by Ryan back in March.
Yeah. We get to it eventually.
We will. Because sometimes Tyler is hungover and he's like, I don't know anymore. Just choose something, Brad.
Yeah.
He's Arthur Morgan from Red Dead 2.
I'm just thinking about Blackwater.
Now, Dutch, I just don't really understand what this topic's about.
I have a plan.
That was
we just
actually
need
really
some
good.
money.
Have some goddamn faith. Red flags. I'm just going to start with the obvious one. I think we all agree on live service. When it is attached to a game, burn it to the ground, kill it with fire. If it weighs the same as a duck, it's made of wood.
Yeah.
So I put this on my list, and it was surprising how little time games last. Like, you guys ever play Friday the 13th?
I did because
You
I
can't
got
because-
it for free.
You can't play that game anymore.
No,
Yeah.
you can play for a little while longer.
Yeah, but
It's available now for like $2, but it'll be delisted soon.
I got it
Because they're
for
December
only playable.
31st. So by the time you guys are listening to this episode,
Oh yeah,
it's you can't play it anymore.
It's gone now.
It's gone now. So that is
So
the problem I
weird.
have with online or games as a service games, because there's so many of these games come out like that, and then there's no buy-in from the players, and what do? They just delist it. That's it.
This is going to fall under like a timed event thing for me too.
Yeah, I hate timed events.
I played a lot of Destiny 1 and I can't ever again. People aren't playing it. I can't go I mean, I guess I could go in there and play some missions that are just kind of
Not with people.
cold and pointless without people. And there are raids that I loved playing.
Yep.
And a timed event like, oh, Iron Banner's this week. I'm like, I can't this week. Well, sorry, you can't then.
The idea of timed events and live service games seems intriguing because on a surface level, it's almost like the ultimate immersion. Like, if you're not there for the moment, you miss it.
Yeah.
And that can add a lot of immersion to a game you're playing. But it's also mad unfair when you spend $70, and with live service games, you're spending a hell of a lot more just to play the game, to miss out on content like that.
I think people misrepresent this idea that time is also a personal currency for anyone going into this as like a hobby, and abusing that feels like a pretty big sin, if you ask me. I like there was a time and a place where I could really devote myself to certain things and do certain things, but if it starts feeling like a chore, that's not what a video game should be to me. A video game should be something that I enjoy, that I'm having fun with.
Escapism.
Exactly. It should be something that I'm escaping into to forget about daily life, because that's what people do with movies.
Yes.
You can pause a movie and the movie's still going to fucking be there. So why can't my video game, and I understand when it comes to like keeping player engagement to keep your servers running, I understand that to a certain degree, but it also leaves room for very predatory and kind of sickening practices.
Yeah, it's limiting. It's not something that makes me necessarily never want to play something, but if I see something as live service, I am instantly turned off.
Me too.
And it better be a big fucking sell for me to want to get in there.
What, you want Suicide Squad?
God,
You don't want to play with 3 other randos?
good lord.
and I mean, like,
I love Croc.
the answer for live service, because every studio has got such a hard on about live service because they want this to be the only game you play. The formula is there. It is sports games.
Yep.
If you made Madden,
2K.
NHL, 2K, all that shit into live service and just updated it and charged players for uniforms, players, skins, and all that shit, it would be massively predatory.
What was that game that was it Ubisoft was developing where it was like a roller derby / dodgeball game?
Roller Drum? That's
Roller Drum?
No, Roller Drum
that
just
was,
came out.
Yeah, but there
That
was
one's
like
actually good.
There was like a dodgeball style like
Oh
development
yeah,
game.
I can. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I can't
don't
remember.
remember.
It was on my list because like I found this list of like 60 games that were delisted in this year.
That's already delisted.
Yeah, it's already delisted
When
because
did it
it
come
didn't
out?
come out that long. It came out I think in 2022. And then it's already been delisted because there's like literally zero player engagement. And my problem with live service games is I'm all about preservation. I'm all about like we can't lose these games. You know, there's got to be ways to play that. And
Knockout City.
Knockout City, that was it. And I think that was
I think I literally played some of this.
yeah. You can't play it anymore.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to. But
And my problem with that is that obviously, the first game that came to my mind with this was Mag. Remember that for PS3?
Oh, yeah.
You can't play that
Massive
anymore.
ass game.
Massive action.
No, I called it ass.
Oh, really? Well,
Massive
it was
ass because it was one of the first games that I remember being like readily available that had like 64-person
That
lobbies.
game's got a
on
big
consoles.
ass.
Yeah. Well, it was made by the guys that made SOCOM. This is going to be a good game. And just no player engagement after like a few months, and then they just
Yeah,
deleted the servers. And
about the time
you could buy the
rented it.
game secondhand, but literally you're just buying it for the disc.
I think this also represents maybe a misunderstanding from the people who make video games, that if you create something with a high shelf life that you can play over and over again for years and years. I mean, even look at fucking Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
You can keep bringing that back. That's still going to bring people back to it. Someone is going to want it on the Switch, even though they have it on the PlayStation. It's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that they misrepresent themselves by quick monetary gain.
The dragon that every video game company is chasing is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes.
Something that can manage to be the greatest single player experience and the greatest multiplayer
Yeah.
experience for people
Yeah.
online. Money, money, money. Shark
And if you do
cards.
both, that's fine. Like you could make a game where there's a lot of games that the multiplayer is shutting down, but there's still like a very robust single player campaign that you could still play. They shut down Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2 just this year as well.
Really?
But those,
Yeah.
those
I like-
campaigns
I like-
are
But those,
so
but
good.
those campaigns are so good. You can still, sorry about that. You can still play, those games and have a great time, but
It'll just lock you out of a certain aspect of it. And that's
Yeah.
that's okay. I think that multiplayer as a component works fine as long as it's not the component.
not like your sole component. Because once that server shuts down, that means that game is completely unplayable.
And usually that involves, especially with these types of games, there are newer, better graphics, sometimes better gameplay. It's just it's a cycle, and they're kind of killing themselves doing it. They spend so much money to make this, and a certain amount of people get it, and a certain amount of people invest their money in it. It's like mobile games. It's like
Final Fantasy VII First Soldier that came out last year, that's already done.
I played that on my phone for like an hour.
You
one
can't
day.
you can't anymore.
I know people who love it.
Yeah, well, too bad.
You know what's
I know.
a red flag for me is games that never end.
Yep.
long fucking games.
I mean, it's one thing to have Assassin's Creed Odyssey but be what it is, but then there's this one part where they're like, oh, and then weekly challenge missions. I'm like, I'm gonna never touch that shit.
No.
But you get special currency. I'm like, don't fucking care for something I'm not gonna use.
You can get through the game just fine.
I'm a gamer that wants to have a finite experience.
Yep.
99% of the time, if it ain't,
Yeah.
Halo back in the day or, Mario Kart, I want to play a game, finish it, go to the next game.
And that's why I felt nostalgic for playing the old Call of Duty campaigns, because the game ended.
Yeah.
The game ended, you rolled credits, that was it.
Yeah, you're looking at like an 8-hour campaign.
Yeah.
and it's
World
like-
War II, Part 2. It's
Yeah.
like, no, the war's over.
Or like, hey, we're going to restart you back from the last mission, and then you can go back and do all these other different extra shit that we...
This
you know.
time, try and do it with only a shotgun.
Yeah.
I agree with Brad, though. Long games is a red flag for me. The new Star Wars game, when they were like, it's going to be full, it's going to make Assassin's Creed Odyssey look like a little rinky dink.
That wasn't even true, though.
Yeah, but
You're
that
talking the recent one, or you
Survivor.
talking about the new one that's coming
the
out?
new Ubisoft
Oh, the
Star
new
Wars
Ubisoft
game.
one.
Oh,
Okay, got it.
that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
where they
hell-
said
oh,
that
hell
it was
no.
going to be bigger than Assassin's Creed Odyssey and longer and better and
That
badder.
scares
and
me. That scares me.
That
freaks
immediately
the
turned me
fuck
off.
out.
I'm
Yeah.
like, the world is going to be full of repetitive quests and fetch missions and collectibles. And how many fucking Odin ravens am I going to have to shoot down in this bitch?
Yeah,
Well,
right.
that's what that is.
How
That
many
is what
feathers am I going to have to catch?
exactly, or like sheets of music so you can hear better sea shanties on your boat.
Yeah.
But at least that's a reward.
That is an actual reward.
I mean, that's
And
cool.
I actually I can get behind that.
And although Odyssey did keep my attention for the vast majority of that playthrough, it's rare that a game is going to be as long as those are and not have any bloat. In our Discord, Brian actually agrees. He said that it used to be a feature to get value for your dollar. Now my time is much more limited, so I'm really cautious about diving into long games. Completing Valhalla nearly broke me.
oh wow,
And that's the thing. There's so many developers are trying to chase after that. We want our game to be the one game you play. Like the Call of Duty fan base or the Madden fan base.
Yeah.
I would actually say that Fortnite is the top of that ideal,
Yeah.
and that is true. There are some
You guys-
people who play
you-
only Fortnite.
You hear they're bringing the Dogcast into Fortnite?
Dude, I don't know if they can make me buff like apparently Peter Griffin is right now in Fortnite.
So funny story.
It's just Dylan. Dylan, you're the only one that's going to go to Fortnite, though. None of us made the cut.
Well, you're NPCs.
Funny
man.
story is my friend is a concept artist for Danger Close Studios.
Really?
Who
Okay.
did
Yeah.
the art. Yeah, so he was telling me this before they even released the Peter Griffin.
the Peter Griffin,
And he said
yeah.
they had to work so hard. That was probably the hardest character they ever had to build.
It's
Because
so,
that was their most requested character, but the developers knew it would be nigh impossible
'Cause
to
he's a
get
big
him-
fat guy.
Because he's a fat guy, yeah. And they've never put like an overweight character in the game because the motion capture just wouldn't work.
no, yeah,
So
because
they
it's all on frames.
yeah.
yeah.
So they said they had to work for a long time to get Peter
So
Griffin
they just
to work.
made him buff and gave him a
that
big
was the only way
head.
they could do it. Only way
It's
they could
it's
do
very it's very weird to look at. Can you bring that up for us?
On it.
Can you pull that up, Jamie?
Fortnite.
What should I Google to find Peter Griffin in Fortnite, Dylan? Tell me again.
Peter Griffin Fortnite.
Oh, okay. I was way off.
The hair of the Dogcast has their own
Oh,
Jamie.
man. He looks weird.
yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
that was the only way to do it. That
That's
was the only way to do it.
I mean, I get it. Look, yep. And
oh yeah,
I,
that's like the episode.
I get that could be like a joke within like the Family Guy universe. I'm not a Family Guy person. I have found it funny in the past, so I can't make fun of it too much. But I'm also kind of just like, they just released like Dragon Ball Z. They released Cell and Frieza or something, and those skins appeal more to me than anything. If I could be Cell,
Dragon Ball Z can do nothing wrong, in my opinion. You make the most subpar game, I will fucking
I'm
play
pretty
it.
sure you can play as Giannis in Fortnite, can't you?
You did for a little bit, I thought.
Let me
right?
play as Giannis in Dragon Ball, and then we can talk. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
yeah.
Yeah. Long fucking games and live service, which are probably two of my biggest red flags. Does anybody at the table have a glaring one?
I do. Crafting.
It hurts me to agree with you.
It hurts
but I'm
me to agree with
I'm
that, too,
starting
yeah.
to get into that camp too.
It is such a time waster. In certain games, it kind of makes sense. I find myself in Avatar actually appreciating like the biology of the world. Like if you look at a plant, you can kind of see its qualities, and you have to actually like harvest it. There's a little mini game that you have to play to harvest, and that's interesting. But then it's trying to hunt that shit down, knowing which biome it's in, how it works with other things, getting a quality item so you can make a better bow. And I don't know, man. I miss RPGs where I could just walk into a store and it's like, well, there's the better sword. I'll buy that.
What this boils down to is game economies and having enough interactive things for you to pick up, to explore, to reward. You looking in corners and opening things, they have to give you something. And
But it's such a bridge to gap.
no, I'm with you, and I have a problem with it too. But it's just like trying to find that sweet balance where you're rewarding players for exploring and giving them something fun to do with it. I feel like too many games fail miserably, and crafting. I can't. I'm trying to think of games that I enjoyed the crafting in, and I couldn't think of one.
Well, here's the thing: like Elden Ring and all the Souls games, you know what material you need to upgrade your equipment.
And it's limited. There's not a
It's
lot
limited.
to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you know what the resource is, and you're going to get it. And it's usually like one resource or two.
Yeah.
One you get from beating a boss, and then the other one from just exploring.
I would say Last of Us 2 had a really decent crafting system, a simple crafting system.
Yeah,
Because they only have so many things.
Yeah,
you
there was
can
only
pick
so many
up.
things.
It
yeah.
adds to the immersion of being like on your own and trying like being low on supplies in a hostile world.
Yeah.
That really works. Red Dead Redemption's crafting and Red
I
Dead
actually
2.
liked hunting because
Yeah,
you
you
had
had to
different
hunt, yeah.
rifles, and
Yeah.
you had to go out into the world
and you could
explore.
collect the animal fat to make like Molotov cocktails, or you could like cook different meals to give yourself different perks. You could make different ammo, and you had to do it around a fire at night.
So
when you
are we
were off
saying
in the
some
woods.
games do it better than others? Because
when they
Yes.
add it as a touch of flavor or a part of the game that is integral and well thought out, like The Last of Us, integral, well thought out. Red Dead Redemption 2, immersive as fuck. And just kind of add it in there if you want to do it. Otherwise, you can go to a general store in that game and just buy what you want.
yeah,
Well, I literally think it breaks down to what the game is trying to achieve. Adding it for the sake of having it around is stupid. In a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, I found myself wanting to be immersed in the Wild West.
Yeah.
And having that experience with the crafting and the hunting made so much more sense. Because that is the vibe you are looking for. It is this rough and tumble kind of survivalist world. Same thing as like The Last of Us.
If it's baked into the experience,
Yes.
like Tears of the Kingdom.
It has to be thematically proper, I guess is the way I want to.
Or it could be like Gotham Knights, where you defeat an enemy and they drop 80,000 green things that I don't know the name of, and it requires 750,000 to make a
to update your batons.
Yeah, that's not even worth it. Like It's just so convoluted, and it just gives you a headache. And then you constantly have the little notification bubble saying you have crafting available, and it's like, go away.
Yeah,
Every game that allows you to craft arrows should just have a feature where you can automatically craft arrows if you go to shoot one.
Yeah.
well, I think that's the thing because Gotham Knights was
Avatar
designed.
has it. Yeah.
It felt like Gotham Knights was designed around the crafting mechanic.
Yeah,
Where
because
it's like basically just like a crafting game with just Batman lore sprinkled into it.
and it also had very vague like remnants of live service putrid
Yeah,
monuments
Side
all
missions,
over it. Yeah.
One of the big ones that I had with mine was review embargoes.
Whoa.
Put a billboard up saying you don't believe in your game, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of scummy in a way because you don't. On one hand, I imagine developers say, "Well, we don't want the game spoiled."
You can make an embargo in finer detail.
Yeah, you could say like, "Don't spoil any story contents" or something like that. But it just seems scummy because you want people to buy the game right away on day one, but then all of a sudden come to find out like, "Oh, hey, all the reviews are shit." And now all these people feel like kind of cheated to where it was like, well, if I had read a review beforehand, I wouldn't have bought this game.
That's why you never do pre-orders unless you're confident in the developer.
Unless
Yes.
it's Final Fantasy VII and you buy 10 Snickers bars so you can get the special armor.
Yeah,
I think
or
they-
you buy a 12 pack of
I
Game
literally
Fuel
think
and
they
get
gave
double
it to
XP
me
for
for free.
They just gave it to everybody eventually. Yeah,
That's
yeah. But did you get 10 stickers? Checkmate.
So if I
Yeah,
hear
I-
a game, if I
I
hear a
lost
game
a
has a
pound.
review embargo, I'm like, okay, because I'm usually a day one buyer. Like if I believe in your product, I will buy it. But
Yeah.
if they're like, well, you know, if it comes out like, well, they won't let us review it until the day it comes out, it's like,
Until Jeff Keighley rushes over an award for you, I'm not going to buy your game.
yeah.
The most I will accept an embargo for is 2 days beforehand. If they allow people to release the reviews 2 days beforehand, it gives enough people time to be like, is this going to be any good? And is it worth my money and my time? Otherwise, you're kind of shit out of luck. Because I've gotten games. One notable one, Biomutant. Do you guys
Oh, yeah.
remember that fucking
I
game?
remember Biomutant.
I was excited for Biomutant.
So was I.
I bought it to play on his fucking PS4 when I had his PS4, and I played it, and I was just like, this game is fine, but it's a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I just wasn't feeling it. And I was just like, okay, well, it's another open world game. I thought this was going to be a lot more interesting, and it had the potential, but I don't know. That had a review embargo, and I remember it pretty spot on because I pre-ordered it through Amazon because I was desperate. But
No, that's
Yeah,
good.
and
That's
like
a
you
good
said,
one.
it was fine, but that was when the marketing was working overtime and trying to get you to. We want you to buy this game, but we don't want to tell you how the game is. So that's why it just seems like there's a lot of trickery up on the developers and the probably more so the publishers, because they're the ones that have a financial investment in making sure that their investment is safe, but secure.
And people are rubes. They'll buy anything day one to be a part of a conversation.
Yeah.
I want to bring up 2 controversial ones from the Discord.
Sure.
The first one is going to offend Tyler.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sim games.
I know. I saw that. And I was like, don't agree with that.
Phil E said simulator games from power washing to Animal Crossing. Those games hold no appeal for me. And Rai JK jumped in and said, I agree with
Has this person ever played Power Wash Simulator?
No.
Well, you need-
Don't knock it until you try it.
Lawn mowing simulator. Turn off the music, throw some headphones on, get immersed, put your fucking New Balances on, sit in your living room and listen to a podcast and pretend you're just mowing your lawn.
What are you getting these shoes for? Oh, just for video games.
Just for video games, yeah.
For simulation.
Put on the Lo-Fi Beats playlist.
Oh my God, yeah.
Play House Flipping Simulator. Oh man, knocking down walls.
Yep.
Come on.
It's good. House Flipper is actually
It's really good. Yeah.
It's interesting and strange, and the tasks are laid out before you, and you just kind of got to know what
And you
to
have
do.
freedom to do whatever you want.
But power washing is a special one. It's like popping a fucking zit. I like
Oh,
popping
dude.
zits.
Yep.
It is.
It's
I
like
don't want
popping
to. I
a
don't want to watch
fucking
somebody else
zit.
pop as it, but yeah, I see your point.
I've watched videos of it, and I'm both enamored and disgusted because I'm like, clean. I'm like, clean. Look, it's getting clean.
And they really make you work for it.
I know.
Like you can't just like spray it and just be like, oh, that's it. Like this
You
whole
have to
quarter
get-
panel's done. You really have to meticulously.
You got to get underneath the ladder. Like
Yeah.
in the playground, you had to get down and spray underneath the ladder.
Yeah, get in the
I cleaned-
undercarriage.
I helped clean Midgar.
I know. I did that one.
Yeah,
too.
bro, you did God's work there.
Another controversial one. Soulsborne.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
I was surprised to see that.
That's
No,
okay.
it makes perfect sense to me. If you're someone that does not like those games, then anything that says Soulsborne, you are immediately letting me know I don't want to play it. That was
And I think that goes back to what you said earlier about any game that is marketed as another game,
yeah.
because Soulsborne, that tells you nothing about what type of game that is unless you know Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
Yep.
Like on paper, it makes literally no sense. Like that doesn't describe the quote unquote subgenre of that video game. But, if you say like, oh, this game is like Dark Souls, this game is like Bloodborne, that's another red flag for me, because then that means how original are you really trying to be?
Or if it's not made by From Software, then it's like, oh, so you just made a really fucking hard game.
Yeah.
Like that
Well,
you're
and-
running the risk.
Or
of-
you
Would you-
misunderstood
Yeah.
what makes it good.
Yeah.
Which
And then you're just
games
like,
have been doing for years.
this game is tough. It's a Dark Souls game. It's like, that is not what Dark Souls is.
That's not Dark Souls games are not about. I've told people about this. Like I keep like I'm like, well, it's too hard for me. I'm like, just because it requires effort and a little bit of thinking, that does not make it difficult.
if I
'Cause
hit
there are
X
ways
20 times, Sora will defeat the Heartless.
exactly.
Thank you.
Well, it's kind of same with Cloud and the remake.
A
But
green flag for me is a Kingdom Hearts game with a dumb fraction. Green flag for sure.
36.2.
I have
75.
I have a weird red flag. Metroidvanias.
Okay.
What?
I kind of get it.
I
Well, they're all the same. I'll give you that.
I love Metroidvanias, and
When
the
they're
fact
good-
now that every like other indie game is
Yep.
like, this is an indie Metroidvania. I'm like, I don't care. Then I have played enough that I love, and to do anything new or exciting is going to be incredibly difficult. And until somebody says check out Hollow Knight, I'm
Like
not going to
me.
check out any Metroidvania that's new.
So I think this is a matter of finesse. I think that it's an easy game style to ape and make something out of. I do think it's hard to execute properly. And I think that's the type of like connection you need to make.
Yeah, that interconnectedness.
The world has to feel fluid. The
It has
world
to feel organic.
It has to feel organic. The exploration has to feel good. The combat has to feel fantastic. Look at Super Metroid. Like everything about that game screams like this is the first version of it, but it's doing it and it's firing on all cylinders.
Yeah.
There are some really fucking bad ones though too.
There's just too many. It's saturated to the point where they I don't even see them anymore when I like scroll through things, Metroidvania, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the disturbing issues, which Hollow Knight actually kind of bypasses, is that they're also introducing Soulsborne into Metroidvania.
It's bringing something new to it.
It is. It's adding a different element, like resources that you can pick back up after you die.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. That's kind of interesting.
Like Jedi Survivor
Pretty much.
does that. Like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
enemy that kills you, if you land a hit, you get your shit back.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that makes things a little less stressful, and there are enough generous checkpoints to make Jedi Survivor not like the hardest game in the world to fucking play. I just think the Metroidvania style really appeals to me because it's all about traversal for the most part. It's all about finding secrets or trying to remember things that you saw before. And that's what I like about Metroidvanias, and that's kind of why I'm a sucker for them.
I'm a sucker
because
but
you don't
there's
need to
too
make
many.
a big map.
No.
You can make a small map, but just with a lot of locked areas, which can be kind of frustrating on your traversal.
Yeah.
But, you'll always bookmark that like, oh, yeah, that has this particular wall. I'm going to have to remember that for...
You know that this thing's going to be opened by a bomb.
There's
Yeah.
only one Metroidvania that's never been made that should be, and it's a Mega Man Metroidvania.
Oh
where
my
you
God.
get the different abilities in
So-
this giant... it's in Wily's Castle. The whole thing's in Wily's Castle, and they're all in different parts of the map.
Yeah.
That's a good
That's a good
fucking
idea.
idea.
That's a nice
There
pitch.
is someone out there making a Mega Man X Metroidvania game, but we're talking this was years ago, and he was a sole developer making this game, and he was releasing like beta updates and stuff, and I think there was a playable demo for a little bit, but the guy stopped working on it for a while. It's playable, but it's not like fully realized.
It
Was
should
early
be. It
access?
should be out
What
there.
was that?
It was kind of early access. He was, releasing betas as he was working on it. But,
Game development is rough.
yeah, especially when you're doing it by yourself and not getting
some-
paid for it.
From the podcast here, it seems incredibly easy.
Kip had one in the Discord that I didn't agree with when I first saw it, and now I'm honestly kind of on his side. And he said open world.
Yep. Hard agree.
It's getting stale.
This is the
It
biggest
hasn't done
world
anything
ever in
new.
video games.
It hasn't done anything new.
Repeated environments, repeated assets,
Yeah.
over and over and over.
You see that mountain? You can walk there. I'm like, that sounds tedious.
sounds
This
fine.
was kind of the reason why I think I'm having a hard go with Tears of the Kingdom, because while it's a great open world and it's a good formula, it worked for Breath of the Wild. It didn't do anything new for me besides saying, "Hey, there's a couple sky islands you can explore. Hey, you want to build a mech?" I don't know.
I did want to build a mech,
I
but
mean, it sounded like a cool idea.
I didn't finish Tears of the Kingdom. It
I
kind
didn't
of
finish
just
it
got
either.
open worlded out on it.
Yeah.
I fucking nailed that thing to a wall. That I love that thing. I think that when we were talking about like games of the decade back in 2020 on a previous iteration without this guy over here,
Yeah. We call it the golden days.
oh man,
Oh, come on.
Prime. No, I'm just
Your
kidding.
headphones are still on, Tyler? Sorry.
Oh,
you were
shit.
supposed to hear that.
No, I said the next iteration of this is going to be the best iteration, and they proved it. That it is proof of concept. They did something different because open world is all about, to me, it's like a Metroidvania. It's about traversal. It's about how you can get to places. It's about how you can do things.
And it shouldn't be about the size of the world. It should
No.
be about the content
quality.
that is in it. It can
Yeah.
be an open world game that is very small if you have a lot to do. But when it's usually the inverse. It's usually look at all this space we got and there's nothing going on in it.
That also stresses me out.
'Cause you feel
Starfield,
like you got to explore it.
I know.
And there's
Starfield is
no
the
reward.
worst concept of an open world.
It's the worst.
Yes.
It's an open galaxy.
Because it's 20.
They made it big enough to
Thousands.
it's just an
Too
open
big,
galaxy
yeah.
game and
Yeah.
pass.
You can go to any planet you want.
what you're going to find there,
Nothing.
nothing.
the problem
you
is
could,
not-
you could drop a mine there. You can mine for materials there, which is
Yeah, not every game needs to be an open world.
no, yeah.
Kip says that he's tried many times to get into them, but he just never enjoys himself, and it sucks. He knows he's missing out on some of the best ones, and he name dropped Skyrim, Tears of the Kingdom, and Red Dead, but he's accepted this. And Kip,
I think that's okay.
That's okay.
You should definitely play Red Dead.
Just like Ryan said.
Red Dead 2.
You should
Red Dead
definitely
2
play-
is a good example of the map not being that big.
with a
but
lot of shit to
There's
do.
a lot of shit to do in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you don't like the open world concept of it, you can just go through and play that story.
The story,
and
you can just
cruise through it pretty
mainline.
quick.
Yeah.
The weapons aren't that much better even when you get a better one, so it's fucking whatever.
In open world, that's why I never played Metal Gear Solid 5. I watched a donkey video of him just showing the bonkers weird gameplay stuff you could do.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not that creative. I don't know what that just scares me. A game
you
that's
could just put people to sleep with your fucking dart gun.
and that's fine, but something that just like the gameplay possibilities are that big in scope. It's just
Well, that's what Death Stranding is too, man.
no. Death Stranding is about walking and putting up wires and driving a vehicle.
Building a highway
That's
with
not
other people.
Yeah, Death Stranding is perfect.
Oh, Death
Metal Gear
Stranding is
Solid
You can do
5,
nothing
the only
wrong,
way
Death
to play
Stranding.
that is to just abandon stealth and just go guns blazing. At least that was my experience with it.
For Phantom
I was
Pain.
pure stealth.
Huh? Phantom Pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was pure stealth in Phantom Pain. Nobody ever saw me. I did a complete ghost run.
Wow.
I am the night. I am the shadow.
Pretty much.
That was definitely the opposite of me.
Oh, well, you know.
Stealth games, I think it's not a red flag anymore, but when they almost like force it,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is kind of
When the
like
game doesn't feel like it's built for it.
yeah, like actually the more recent Call of Duty campaigns heavily rely on stealth.
You.
And that's dumb.
And that's really dumb because it's like you're going against what your franchise was built on. You're almost like shoehorning and forcing it. I had a problem with the most recent Ghost Recon Breakpoint, to where it was like Ghost Recon was, going guns blazing. You're a special forces soldier going guns blazing, but the game basically told you, no, you can't do that here. Even though the previous games in their franchise were, had no stealth components in it. I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, Call of Duty had Gillied Up, which is one of the best stealth missions ever, but it is a totally scripted, playable experience.
Yes.
It's all sniping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's narratively driven. It just don't put it in the game.
Don't put
Unless
it on
it's
every
going to be
mission.
part of
yeah.
the game.
Didn't that one take place in Chernobyl?
Yep.
Yeah.
Chernobyl.
Okay, I remember correctly. That's
One of
correct.
the best.
50,000 people used to live here.
50.
Now there's
it's
just
a
a
ghost
Ferris
town.
wheel.
Oh,
And-
look
and
at
that
the little
big-
toy car.
That big pool.
It's so
Yeah.
sad. The pool.
I just rewatched Chernobyl on HBO.
Why would you rewatch that depressing
Because it is
pile?
You forgot how it ended.
Incredible.
Did,
It's
did
really
anybody
good.
make it?
There's a lot of smoking and a lot of dog killing in it.
The
and
first
I would
episode-
And
recommend-
naked men underground.
That is true.
The first episode is an excellent horror short. Like, it's an excellent horror.
It's the whole thing is a horror
It's just
series.
scary.
Oh god, yeah.
Survival timers is another one that got brought up in the Discord, and I never really thought about that.
Yes.
Bryant said, for me, extreme survival timers, like in Don't Starve. I can handle mild ones like No Man's Sky, but dealing with constant death timer by running out of resources is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
And Claire also agreed, a little more lighthearted. She had the board game Guess Who as a kid with a built-in timer that made a loud noise when it timed out, and it stressed me out so badly to this day. A timer with a deadly consequence isn't my kind of game normally. So it took a lot of convincing for
That's fair.
me
No,
to play
that's fair.
Resident Evil 7 DLC. It scared the shit out of Claire, apparently.
That's the one. That's the DLC where the mom keeps coming in.
Yep.
What's cool about that is you discover part of the puzzle, but you have to put things back before she comes back. So you have to
Oh, that's stressful.
the most stressful thing. Yeah,
Maniac Mansion. Anybody play that for the Nintendo?
No.
no.
That was all timed. If you didn't know what you were doing,
Prequel to Day of the Tentacle.
I did have that board game as a kid, though, where you like push down the board. Perfection. And you had to put the little yellow pieces in.
You put the pieces into the
And then-
slot. You make the right selection, but be quick. You're racing the clock. Wow, pop goes perfection.
Holy shit.
wow.
You guys don't know the jingle?
No,
I'm not that impressed.
that just unlocked a core memory.
Don't make me do Crossfire.
Yeah, another one from the Discord that we got is gender representation.
Yes, this actually has bothered me for a while too.
What did Claire say?
Yeah.
Claire said a serious red flag of mine is how female characters and gender non-conforming characters, although it's pretty rare, are portrayed or designed. Baldur's Gate 3, you're gonna love it.
Pretty spot on, yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking. That is one of the best character creators I've ever seen.
So let me understand it. So I'm on the same page. So are we talking? Because I think one of the biggest problems about
Actual characterization, I think. She
Yeah.
was
so like you know, historically males have been really bad at writing female characters. Is this kind of in line with that?
Yes.
Of just like
We're talking
females
your
being
early Laura Crofts.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, like, you remember the game Blood Rain?
Yeah, I remember Blood Rain.
Yeah, I remember Blood Rain.
Yeah.
It's literally just like sexy girl doing things. Now, my issue here is that I'm a huge Bayonetta fan, and I make excuses for Bayonetta.
Do you think Bayonetta overcomes?
I think she does, because I think her level of empowerment is so much greater than like she swims in the idea of being sexualized. I don't know if
And she weaponizes it.
You talk so poetic when you start talking about Bayonetta.
Yeah, it
she
is.
swims in the idea of being sexualized.
plates
I was
and
entranced.
bowls. But I think what Bayonetta has that a lot of other characters don't is self-awareness.
Guns
And maybe,
for shoes.
exactly, but also to the
A
point.
choo-choo train.
But also
for
to
a
the
body.
point where I believe it's meant to be a certain level of parody. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it's meant to be taken too seriously, but you can also revel in the idea that you're this sexy long-legged witch lady who fires guns from her boots. And I think
You can't take that seriously.
you can't. And I think that like becoming a kind of parody of yourself is maybe the way to go about it.
It's weird going back. We just did a lot of Final Fantasy X episodes, and seeing the sexualization of those female characters in the game and in the discourse in like magazines at the time, all of that is so off-putting.
Yeah,
The fact
I
that
agree.
there's a 16-year-old character and they do the legs all the way up reveal, I'm like, this is bad. Like this,
Riku was egregious.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's just like a trope for a lot of Japanese games. It means something different over
Yuna
there.
is
but
not heavily sexualized.
not until 10-2
Yeah.
when she gets guns too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like Yuna went to America should be what that's like really called.
One game that I think nails it, and that I really enjoyed, was The Last of Us Part 2. That has a lot going on in it. I don't want to spoil anything.
There is a character that is trans.
Yes,
Yep.
and the
There
game.
are a ton of different body types.
It's the writing that is bad with a lot of that's not in The Last of Us.
Yeah.
No, but in a lot of games there's like they just put it on a pedestal and say, look at it, like Star Wars, like, look, we have girls kissing in this movie. And if you point it out and make it a thing instead of a naturally organic thing.
and when you
And that's what people want. You know, they don't want to be like slapped in the face with it just because you're trying to be inclusive.
they want it to be
bake
just
it
an
into
offhand thing.
Yeah, just a natural thing.
bake it into the character, use it as motivation and history and personality, and you can flesh out a character and give them much more depth, like they did with two specific characters that I'm thinking about in The Last of Us Part 2, but I know you haven't beaten it.
Did you guys know Birdo and Super Mario Brothers 2 is trans?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, listen to Raw Dog 69 Sex and Video Games
Yeah.
for more
Oh, boy.
information on
We talked
Birdo.
about Bird. We talked about Bird.
And Poison,
Birdo and that big,
Poison
beautiful
from
mouth.
Final Fight 2, I think. Same
We
thing.
talked about Poison as well.
on
Oh
the
yeah,
book,
we
right?
talked about
I don't even remember that one though.
we talked a lot about representation.
I think video games can do a better job of representing things, but I think that these things they have a set amount of writers, and they get people who know how to write video games. Writing video games is very difficult. There are a lot of lines of dialogue. There are a lot of things that happen within the video game to make things make sense. And I think including someone without like being like wink, wink, nudge, nudge is the way to go about it. Because if you like, it's like what you said. Like if you're calling attention to it, it's like, and if one of the characters goes, "Oh, hello, they, them,"
Yeah.
like it's like you're just like, okay, well, it's like in Avengers Endgame when all the women show up to just do a badass walk together.
I got in a lot of flack because I was on a podcast with Matt where I stood there and I said I
said that
found that
too.
shot incredibly off-putting
It really was, yeah.
because it was just so distracting and obvious.
It's heavy-handed.
But
if you're going to include it, you need to have a reason. Don't just put it in there to placate the masses or try to
Yep.
be like, oh, look at
You're not even
how
placating the
sensi-
masses. You're placating a small minority.
But then also a lot of the girls that were on that episode said it meant a lot to them. I'm like, that's great.
I completely understand it. I'm talking more from like a storytelling perspective. I would like this to be all this stuff that we're talking about, including representation. to be
Instead of
more
the hero shot,
naturalized.
have all of them do a badass sequence of things.
where they're running and they're passing it to each other.
Yep.
I would have been like, all right, yeah, that's awesome.
Like in the Marvels, there's a lot of really great stuff with the three characters
You saw the Marvels?
It was really good.
Was it?
It was really good.
Sure.
But the action baked into their power conundrum was so fun.
Yeah.
And there was no shots of them all standing around like posing. It was them just being badass. I'm like, good representation. That is what I want.
I think the difference here is that to be that level of inclusive, it depends on, first of all, what you're writing and what your goal is and your like thesis statement, because you're creating a product ostensibly.
I feel this is like a whole nother episode in and of itself.
It could be.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Poor representation of gender is a red flag.
Yeah,
Which is why it was refreshing in the Tomb Raider reboot. They got a female head writer, to write her appropriately, to kind of like change the.
Well, did you hear about how she was censored?
Yeah,
she wanted to make Laura bi, and they wouldn't let her.
Yeah, which is why she's not coming back.
Well, Crash Bandicoot had a very buxom girlfriend, and then the next game they're like, his sister reads though.
That's pretty hot.
You were a big Coco guy.
Coco.
Meanwhile, I'm like, Ripperoo, what's he on?
Yeah, and for the
You know what's really weird? In the Elf movie, they use the Ripperoo sound effect when he's doing the Jack in the Box. That laughing sound effect. We were watching it, like, is anyone else picking up this Ripperoo? And my family's like,
wait, what's the name of the tiger?
Tiny Tiger?
Tiny Tiger.
Yeah, or Koala Kong.
I know a lot of gay gentlemen who are obsessed with him.
Well, Tiny Tiger, for the name for a giant buff dude, is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I want to be called Tiny.
last one from the Discord, because it's a stone cold take. Judge Tempest, you're wrong. He said sports games, and that's just not good.
No, that's perfect.
This is the Sportscast. Hair of the Sportscast.
I personally don't care for sports games that play like the sports themselves. I need an NFL Blitz or an NBA Jam to give a shit.
This is why I do not like FIFA or FC 24 or whatever the hell it's called now.
It's FC.
It's FC, yeah.
Football club.
Yeah. I've played soccer my whole life. I coach soccer. I've coached soccer for 15 years at various levels and various, various ages and stuff. And I cannot wrap my head around playing FC 24 or whatever it is, FIFA. And I'm screaming at the TV majority of the time because it's almost like too simulation-y, but like not enough simulation. Mm-hmm. What did I enjoy the most? FIFA Street, Red Card Soccer for the GameCube.
Yeah.
Where you could just literally jump kick people. Like NFL Blitz,
NFL
Youth League
Street.
Football. NFL Street was
NFL
good.
Street was elite.
NBA Ballers.
There you go.
Give me more of that.
Ping Pong Underground.
We need to bring back EA Big.
Badminton Street.
Pickleball Street.
Yeah.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah.
Backgammon Street.
Go.
I was just going to say
Street.
Go Street.
The first open world.
As soon as I heard about Go, I'm like, I don't play open world games.
You know what we need? We need an open world battle pass,
You can do anything in that
currency
game.
based crafting pickleball simulation game.
That's
we need
also
this right now.
somehow a
Okay.
Metroidvania.
Oh, that's a Metroidvania.
There's not enough
And also a
Metroidvania sports
Soulsborne.
games.
There's not enough of them.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if you were running down the field and you got to the 50-yard line?
But you don't have a double jump, so you can't get to that part of the
you
field.
can't get
And then
over
a
the
large
logo.
ass dragon comes up from the bottom and just decimates you.
Yeah.
Honestly, they need more wacky sports games. I would get into them.
Take us home, Tyler.
All right. Yeah, those are red flags. There's a whole bunch of them. If we didn't talk about your red flags and you're like, yo, that was a red flag they missed, then you should probably be in our Discord and you can tell us why you think that's a problem that we didn't bring it up.
Call a friend.
Yeah, phone a friend. On the next Popcorn Dogs,
No, I don't know any of this stuff.
then why do you put it in there?
This is a format that I just reprint.
Oh, well, the Popcorn Dogs has got something going on.
That's true.
Actually, up next is the Dogcast Awards, where we're going to be talking about games of the year, TV shows of the year, series of the year, albums of the year, best kiss, amongst others.
Probably best new character.
Best new character, most difficult boss. Dylan's going to read off his top 2,000 games of the year in order.
Yes.
With 5 minutes for each game.
Are you going to start
They're
with
limited.
the first one? You're going to start with your top
No,
one?
it's going to be in a random
Work
order.
your way down? Okay.
Yeah, oh, God.
I have them all listed out. I
You're
only
gonna do
did
it all
the
throughout the
10.
episode.
I listed out every game I played, And I looked at it, and I looked at my wife, and I went, "What am I doing?" I was just like, I played a lot of these,
And then-
my rule was I could only count it if I played over 3 hours.
And then after that, we're going to have Raw Dogs 95 or 96. It's going to be the last Mega Manuary episode where we don't play the game, but we're going to talk about Mega Man Legends. Kip, if you're listening, we're going to try and get Kip on because he loves those games and he knows. Otherwise, I think that's the end of Mega Manuary.
Thank fuck.
After that, we have Elden Dogs 26, which I believe is the start of the Bestiary, maybe.
Yeah, and that's still
Or
going
Endgame.
strong.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
Raw Dogs 100.
It's coming up.
Dylan Boops live on podcast.
Nope, it's Dylan talks about his top 10,000 games of all time.
I think it should be a return to Pokemon.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
Pokemon The Return.
Yeah. Detective Dylan Pikachu returns.
Dylan Chu.
Dylan Chu returns.
Detective Dylan Pooh.
Perfect.
As you've probably gathered, we have a lot of different shows and content. A lot of it is on Patreon. We got Popcorn Dogs and early access to our Elden Dogs on there. So if you like those series, get in there, check those out well before they're out.
Months and months in advance for Elden Dogs.
Yes. We
Go to
are-
patreon.com/Hair the Dogcast to check those out.
Yeah, and we're on all the socials. We're on the Twitter, the X. I still am confused as to what to call it.
Twitter. We won't play Elon Musk's games.
Okay, we're on Twitter at Hot Dogcast.
Yep.
And
we're Facebook, Instagram,
Gmail
Threads,
at
Blue
Hair
Sky.
the Dogcast at gmail.com.
Check them out.
Yep.
Reach out to us. Write a review if you can, or leave a star ranking on whatever you listen to. That does help a lot. If you've gotten this far, it'll take you 2 seconds, and it means a lot to me.
Or you
And-
can find me on at the local Chipotle. Getting me a burrito.
Complaining that he didn't get enough toppings.
It's true.
I guess they're not
Right.
toppings; they're innards.
There's not enough guacamole in my burrito.
Big thanks to the executive producers
fajita meat.
Ryan, Christy, Nick, Kipper, Brian Ward, Jordan Hoff, Phil Wright, William Birkin, Cole Delgardno, Bryant Ross, and Kelly Gutkowski. Man, I'm gonna get it one of these
William
days.
Birkin.
Yeah, we know what he's up to.
Okay.
Yeah, you think I would have got that one
Developing
wrong,
a
but
super virus.
Hair of the Dogcast is a proud member of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. Make sure you check out all their other great shows. And before we leave, gentlemen, it is time for One for the Road.
Fellowship of the Ring audiobook narrated by Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis is very good. His Gandalf, I got lost. I couldn't even hear Andy Serkis anymore.
Really?
Yep, very
I have
good.
to check that out.
You.
Okay, I need everybody to answer me this question. Are you a heretic or a loyalist?
Heretic.
To what?
Yeah,
Just answer the question.
I'm a heretic.
Just answer the question.
I'm
Heretic.
a loyalist.
All right.
Heretic.
Okay, you and me are friends.
Sweet.
Okay. What does
I
that
win.
mean?
I've been reading the Warhammer Horus Heresy, and both of you are dead to me.
Oh.
If it makes you feel
The
better,
Emperor reigns supreme.
if it makes you feel better, I have no feelings on Warhammer at all.
I
have
don't
some
either,
feelings.
but the Horus Heresy is an amazing series.
Well, Henry Cavill's amazing, and I'm excited to see him
I
star in.
cannot wait.
He's going to play Warhammer.
I cannot wait. He's
gonna
going to
play
play the
the War-
Warhammer.
Hi, I'm
guy.
Arthur Warhammer, and this is 10,000 Tides.
10,000 fists in the air.
I love that.
Yep.
Anyway,
This is my ship, the Warhammer.
Oh God. Make yourself a nice marinara sauce. It's good.
Or
I
be
made-
friends with Dylan, and he'll bring it to you.
I made meatballs from scratch. We made meatball subs yesterday, but I had a shitload of marinara left, so I gave some to Brad and Carly so they could have on their sandwiches or pastas.
Pasta.
It was really good.
My one for the road is Social Sig's new EP, In the Pocket. Just came out this month. Fantastic album by Parker, who is just absolutely killing it in the Milwaukee music scene. He was also, he got voted biggest impact for music scene by the Mid-Park Awards. So that was pretty.
The only thing that matters is the Dogcast Award, so I don't know why you're talking about
And he
that.
might make it. We'll
he
see.
might make it. Yeah.
If we're talking music,
Best of luck.
he might make it. This might be a little foreshadowing.
Swift didn't release new album this year.
No, but check out Social Sig. They got great
Favorite
albums.
girlfriend of a sports athlete, she might win.
Oh, perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. Simone Biles is up there.
Yeah, but you heard Taylor Swift's music?
Yeah, but
Eva Longoria.
how many gold medals has Taylor Swift won?
She's a billionaire.
Oh, yeah, she was Time Magazine's most influential person of the year.
She was in Cats, which I watched. Oh, that's what I'll recommend.
No,
No,
movie
this
Cats.
This is the year.
Listener, you can stop listening right now.
The movie Cats. I watch it every Christmas.
Do you want the butthole cut?
Yes, I do want the butthole
Well, who
cut.
doesn't want the butthole cut?
But I find that movie to be so interesting and strange. First of all,
Okay,
it's not a
this
balloon.
is turning into Doggies After Dark.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.